until I broke the rules, my life destroyed. Life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Can I be your superhero? Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one. Only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules, my life destroyed. Life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Superhero. Superhero.
All right, all right, all right. I haven't said that in a while. You know, I was on earlier and I had something happen to the video, but I posted it in the community tab. So if you guys want to go watch it, if you didn't finish it, um, you know, it was an interesting topic, but it wasn't one of my best streams. So I thought I'd get on here and talk about something of importance. You know, I could have guests up here. I could have, and I'm not hating on anybody, so don't take it like this, okay? But there's only so much that you can do on this channel to make it relevant. And it doesn't matter what kind of guest you try to put on here. People are either going to like you for your channel or they're not going to like you at all. So, um, let me start out by telling you my name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel. And if you watch this on replay, try to understand that, sometimes my lives are just very sporadic and very spontaneous. I don't really follow a schedule very much, but I can tell you one thing. If you tune in, you'll want to keep coming back. There's different types of things that I talk about here that have relevance to today's society, to today's world. And tonight, we're going to talk about mental manipulation and gang stalking. I was going to do the 9 o'clock music thing, but I was talking with Jeff earlier, and we're really not feeling that tonight. I'd rather get on here and talk, and he has some other things he needs to do, so I respect that. So I wanted to get on here and talk about this topic and just talk with the chat a little bit. They were talking about free speech and then time me out. Ironic. I'm not here to bring drama to anyone. This is real life. I've always been respectful everywhere I've been on YouTube. Now they lit my fire. As soon as I saw your flames. Have to stay on toes with you. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely keep people on their toes. Since you say you're kind of short, you'd have to get a stool to stay on my toes, right? Anyways, I'm just playing with you. But in here, since I started this channel, I've always kept it where you can speak your mind, you can speak your piece, whatever you wish. Your opinions are always valid. You're always valid. Harassment, game playing, manipulation, all those childish games, this is no place for it. And I've lost subs due to my boundary that I've set for my channel. And people say, well, don't you ever have a good time, 12 Gauge? Don't you ever just let go and allow things to happen and have a good time? Of course I do. But when it comes to people's ability to have bullies or people that want to control other people on these streets, I'm not all for that. I'm not all for bullies. I'm not all for people that try to manipulate individuals into thinking what they want them to think or to push a narrative that isn't even really relevant half the time. I'm not for getting on here and talking about other creators or their content because I could care less. I really could care less. Like I've said before, and I'll keep saying it in my channel, the only person that challenges me is that person I'm looking at right now on the camera. Me. I didn't get on here to make creator friends or, be everyone's favorite because God knows I've never been that type of person in my life. And I was created for obstacles. That's what's made me into who I am today. And it's sad that people in today's society feel like they can gang up on people and it be okay. I see a lot of individuals in these streams that feel like it's okay to call names and belittle other human beings, call them this or that and the other. And they're old enough to be someone's grandparents or, at least their parents. And you got people doing this stuff It makes you wonder, when did this become okay? The gang stalking stuff, that is crap. It's not okay. Especially when you let people know, hey, this is not okay. This is not cool. You need to stop. You need to quit doing what you're doing. And they still continue. It's not okay. It's never been okay. Never been okay. Yes, and you know the sad part about YouTube as well is you tend to find out who people really are off camera. You find out their real personalities. You find out who they really are and what they're about. And it's interesting once the camera turns on, these individuals become the most loving, sweet, caring people until they find something or someone that they don't like, and then it's on. They turn their pack of wolves on you, and it's almost like you're not allowed in there anymore. It's sad, and I won't get a lot of views tonight. I can tell you that. I won't get a lot of views tonight because this type of stuff isn't dramatic enough for people. It's not sensationalized for people. It is just real life, which that's why they get on here a lot of times, is to escape from the reality of whatever life they're living. It's like watching a soap opera. You get on, you turn on your soap opera, and you get to escape for a while. You know? I'll let you on right now. The camera doesn't need to be on. I'm cool with it. Just just when you get up here, just turn your camera off. There's the link. You know, there's no need for it. Grown people can be adults. And we're in a true crime community. That's what they say. Well, most of the time, you're not talking true crime. You're talking about other people. Of course it is. It's gaslighting at its finest. It's manipulation. But at the same time, while this is going on, you know why it's allowed? Because of the super chats. Just turn on your microphone. That'll be enough to let you on the stage. And if you're tuning in from YouTube, once you get into the StreamYard, just close your YouTube tab. I don't know if you're doing it on your phone, but just click the link. Because money sells, just like earlier when I was presenting something, and I meant to say this earlier, but I didn't. This lady let somebody hold $100,000 for her. She trusted her. Trusted that she would hold that money and then give it back to her when she asked for it, because after all, it was her money. But you know what ended up happening? She lost her life in behind $100,000 and manipulation and lies. Instead of being honest, the lady could have said, look, I started seeing this other guy. I started buying him stuff. And before long, I lost tabs of my money versus your money. And I spent a lot of your money, if not all of it. but she couldn't be honest about it. Instead, she took the easy way out and killed her. And that's the world in which we live. The only way that people want to solve problems today is by violence and by Xing you out, making you irrelevant or attacking your character. Because it's easy to attack someone's character. I can call a lot of people out that I can say that I don't like, but I don't even know these people on these YouTube streets, nor do I care to. I know their personalities that they show on their streams or on their lives, but I don't know them. So it's non-essential to get into that drama because all it does, it triggers people that don't like that type of living. You know, you're fine. You're fine. So I was telling somebody earlier, I was having a conversation about this earlier, and I was telling them, I said, you have to remember that there's a lot of people that are creators. I mean, you have to understand what I do for a living. I'm an alcohol and drug therapist. Okay. So in my 20 years, I can spot a drug addict from a mile away. I can spot an alcoholic or someone with some kind of addiction a mile away. And all I have to do is look at somebody on these YouTube streets, and I can almost tell you what their addiction is. And most of them are not clear headed when they're on these streams. They're under the influence of something. That's why it's so easy for them to ignore the chat, to put up with whatever behaviors are coming from the chat, to induce gang stalking and all this other stuff. I've had people come on my channel and on my chat and try to sexually abuse other women in my chat. And people think it's funny. People think it's cute. And then when I call people out on it, it's, why are you so strict? Or why can't you have a sense of humor, or this, that, and the other? Because I don't believe in that crap. I don't believe that it's funny to sexualize a woman who is not even your partner, for one. For two, this isn't a dating site. You want to go find a date, you want to impress people, go get on an online dating app. This isn't Tinder. This isn't any of that. And it's terrible whenever you can't be who you are and be free without somebody trying to objectify you and then getting mad at you because you won't reciprocate their advances. You could be married, you could have a boyfriend, you could just be on here to have a good time, not to be hit on every 5 seconds by somebody you don't even know. Just calm down and breathe, Kim. You'll figure it out. And once you get it, you'll never forget it. So, I wanted to get on here and talk about this because it's terrible. Okay, 5'3". I'm 5'10", so you're kind of short to me. But there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But anyways, people just don't allow you to be who you are anymore. We used to be able to have that ability to have objective talks, meaning that we weren't for or against something, we were just right down the middle, and people were okay with it. Like, you can have a disagreement, but now it's almost like you broke it into their house and stole their furniture and peed in their toilet and went at the extremes, and you've really hurt them. So it's tragic. It's really tragic. Or in the words of Bethany, it's horrid, you know? So if you don't know what gang stalking is, or if you've never heard of it, that means that when people get together and they relentlessly go after somebody, whether it be online, whether it be in real life, whether it be, you know, all that. And it's relentless, and it's methodical, and it could be something as little as sending text messages, random phone calls, hanging up on you when they know that you're sleeping, just trying to get under your skin, trying to get a reaction. And we talked about gaslighting before. We talked about manipulation. It's an awful thing. Kind of like that fire burning in the background. It gets hotter with every time you touch it, every time you stir it. It gets hotter and hotter. And that's what happens in real life when people do not let up. Hey, Post, how you doing? Hey, Jeff, Aquarius, Pepper, Rondi, and some other people that I haven't named yet. Bianca. I believe that this topic is relevant to our world today because we're losing our individualism. Remember that woman, Nassim, that went nuts and shot up YouTube studio? I really don't. I don't. I kind of do, but I really don't. Refresh my memory somehow. Can you type it out? Um, but people can only take so much abuse, whether it be emotional, whether it be deliberate, whether it not be deliberate. They can only take so much. Everybody has a breaking point, just like Post said. You know, like she just gave that example of that lady that went nuts and shot up YouTube studio. But she went nuts for a reason. People have their breaking points. You can only push and push and push until you break. You can only take so much. And it seems like people in society today, they lean on the mental health card. They lean on the fact that you're soft if you can't take the abuse. That doesn't make you soft. It makes you human. So many times we hear about people being killed and thrown out the door like a piece of trash, dehumanizing individuals. Yes, click it again. You know, how is it that you can dehumanize someone who is just like you, but doesn't look like you, or act like you, or think like you, and that's okay? How is it okay to get behind the scenes and say, oh, we're all going to gang up on so and so because we don't like what they stand for? Or I'm going to screenshot everything and then I'm going to show everybody every screenshot I have of how I helped you. That way I can dehumanize you and just go to the core and embarrass you to get you gone. You better believe there's people screenshotting or at least saving what I'm saying right now because I'm sure it'll end up somewhere. And by the way, you don't have permission to rebroadcast this. So there's that. Okay? Not this one. Because I'm speaking freely and I'm speaking open, and just because you don't like what I'm saying doesn't mean that you can attack me later on your platform and make me public enemy number one to you. Because you know what, in reality, I don't care about you. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're about. I don't care if you think just because you're on YouTube like I am and you have an opinion with more subs or any of that garbage, it makes you more relevant because it doesn't. There's a difference between intellect and the need to be the loudest person in the room who is always the weakest. Have y'all ever heard that? The loudest person in the room is always the weakest? And there's a reason that that's being stated. Because those people have to make sure that they're heard. They have to make sure that they yell from the top of the towers how great they are and how everybody else is just a minion to their greatness. Like I spoke to somebody earlier and I said, you know, a lot of these individuals on these streets, without YouTube and the streaming software, what have you added to humanity? What's one thing that you've added to make this world a better place? Okay, now just click on your microphone and you'll be good. I see your little box, but you got to click on your microphone. You know, if you haven't added anything in humanity other than being on a live stream, if that's your moment of greatness, then that's a waste of time. I think you did it, Kim. Yes, you're off camera, so I'm about to add you to the stage. Are you ready? Everybody, let's welcome Kim to the stage.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Kim.
Whoa, that was a job. Technology, huh? No, I appreciate it. And again, I told you from day one that I'm not about the drama. I don't watch mainstream television. I've been going on YouTube and I've always been respectful. Do you know what I mean? I know when to stand up for myself, but usually I just kind of like walk away, right? Because we don't really know who we're dealing with there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can think we know people, but we really don't know anybody.
No, we don't.
So, I think what bothered me tonight was I was really trying to address a situation that I think is horrific. That another, and I'm not going to mention the names, that another YouTube content creator did to another one who's a female, a male to a female. I went to his page, I saw what he wrote. Okay. As a woman who has been abused multiple times throughout her life in many ways, it stimulated me, right? It got me going because it's disgusting. And these people who are in true crime, who say they care about people, they care about these cases. Like, what if Kaylee was being stalked? Do you know what I'm saying? But it's okay for a YouTube content creator to stalk another one, a male and a female. And this woman already has PTSD. She's admitted it. She admitted she has mental health problems. And anybody who says they don't know somebody with mental health problems or they haven't dealt with it themselves is a liar. So in that case, and I don't mean to ramble, I just got to get this out, Gage, because it's just bothering me.
You're fine.
In
Keep
that
going.
case, you would think that people would be understanding and not poke the bear, right? But this person's intentionally messing with this girl's head. Now, it's her right to go on YouTube, and I like her. I'm personally, I think she's funny. I think she's talented, and I think people are jealous. But when I saw that tonight and I saw her reaction to it, I was worried about her because I get nervous because people do take their lives over this stuff.
Yes, they do.
So I'm sorry I'm taking over your channel, and I don't even know what I sound like because I've had a cold. But
Stop apologizing. You're
no,
good.
it's just
You're
I'm
good.
worried about her. I don't know her. I just came to her channel a couple weeks ago. I really liked her, but I've seen what's gone on and I'm worried about her. So I go into another channel tonight and respectfully, they're talking about free speech. They just mentioned it. So I say, but free speech with limits, right? Is it okay to stalk, harass, bully, and another person? Right?
No.
So Twiz answers me back and he was nice and I misunderstood his thing. So I respectfully respond to him and they timed me out for saying that. I said absolutely nothing wrong. And so they just mentioned free speech and they tell me I don't care because I can unsub. But I'm worried about this girl and I'm sick of these content creators who are hypocrites and liars. And I don't know who these people are. They could have been in jail. They could be pedophiles themselves.
Yep.
So
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people either in the chat or that are listening have had to watch and hear some of this stuff that goes on, and it's not okay. That's why I won't let the drama come into the chat, because there are a lot of people that have PTSD, anxiety, depression, all these other things that, if you start ganging up on somebody, it triggers you. And just because you don't know how to deal with it and be an adult and not have to name call and all that other stuff does not mean that the person who's dealing with their own issues have to shut up because they've been triggered by you.
well, he just didn't call her a pedophile. He said anybody in her chat is a pedophile by association. And this is what I'm talking about on YouTube, that is allowed. You know what I'm saying? He put it on his community page. But when I saw her reaction, I wanted to jump through the screen and hug her and take her to some kind of safety. It was that bad. And I'm getting emotional because I have been there many times.
We support you, Kim. We do.
And I'm sick of them. And anybody who supports it, anybody who times somebody out for trying to have a healthy conversation about what's really going on or who's a participant, and some women are involved in it as well. And I think excuse me, I don't mean to cause drama, but I think you're the lowest of low as a female if you're allowing somebody to do that to another female.
Yes, you are.
And I appreciate you listening. I'm going to calm down a minute. I just had to get it out.
It's fine. That's why I have these panels at different times, because I know that people need to talk. I know that. They may never say it, but you can't sit there and suffer in silence. We put up with a lot of stuff on a weekly basis, and sometimes we don't have anybody to talk to without feeling judged, without feeling overwhelmed.
Well, and it's not just that. Like I said, I don't know these people. I don't know her. I feel like I got to know her. I feel like I get to know the people that I'm watching their channel, right? Like you. I liked you right away. You have a calling. I appreciate. I told you, you have a calming voice. You're intelligent. You're analytical. You don't want the drama. And that's the last thing I wanted to do. I just really think that abuse is rampant in this country on many different levels, many levels. And people on YouTube are going through it right now. There's probably women and even men who watch your channel, other channels, who are dealing with it. They don't know how to get out. They don't know how to get support. They feel like they're going to be ashamed or like they deserve it, and they don't deserve it. Nobody deserves it. And I'm here to tell you, I have helped so many people because of my experiences. And that's why I think we go through what we go through, the trauma we go through, because then we are able to help somebody who might be going through something similar.
Exactly.
So I always looked at that like, okay, it was hell, man, but as I grew, I realized it was a gift I was given to help other people, and I have. So now I'm on a mission on the YouTube true crime. Stop the crap and care about people, you hypocrites.
Well, like I was saying a while ago, how can you be in this community when you don't even cover true crime? You don't cover it. All you do is talk about other people who talk about other people who talk about other people.
Exactly.
That's not true crime.
It's not. A lot of them just want the clicks and the views, and they're phony, and they'll act all nice. Like you said, they'll act all nice. I've been in this one channel almost since he started. I've always been respectful, but probably because they're associated with this abuser and maybe don't like this other woman because of what this abuser has put out about her. That's why they time me out. I don't care about being timed out. I care about hypocriticism, mentioning free speech, and abusing people and allowing people to abuse somebody right there blatantly for the whole world to see.
Yeah. It's terrible.
So I appreciate you listening, and chat, hello. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take this into a down moment. I know people like to be happy and laugh and have a good time because life's hard, right? People come to YouTube for entertainment. They might have a tough life. They want to laugh. They want to do it. And that's why I like that female's channel, because I love watching her over a cup of coffee. She's funny. She's intelligent.
Yeah.
And it brings me joy. So that's why we come here. But sometimes we have to talk real. We have to discuss the honest truth about what's going on. We can't sweep this under the carpet anymore and allow it.
And that's one of the reasons that I started this channel, because I do have that expertise on that other side. Actually, I'm more proficient in the therapy part than I am the true crime, because I'm just learning about it. So it comes to me easily. So I'd rather talk about the other side.
Right. And I think you're going in the right direction, because eventually Idaho 4 is going to be over, like you said. What are people going to do? So you're going the right route with your channel, and I really appreciate it, and I respect you. But I won't keep you much longer.
I support you, Kim, and I'm glad that you had the strength to come up and talk this out, because you know what? The stronger you become internally, you'll be able to help others like you're wanting to.
No, I'm strong. I'm Irish. I'm from upstate New York. I'm a very strong. Look, I'm 65. I've seen it all. Okay. I slept with knives under my pillows. All right. I went to my father's funeral with a black eye. I've been there. I've been sexually abused on 4 different occasions in my life. I've seen it. I've done it. It's been every aspect of my life. Okay. My kids were sexually abused. So I have grown and I have to stand up for other people who I see who are hurting. I just have to. And anybody else who has been there and seen it needs to open their mouths on these other channels and keep talking about it, because I'm going to. And they can block me from every channel. They can tie me out as much as they want, but I'm not shutting up about it. Because if you're a hypocrite, I don't need you in my life. I don't need to watch your content. So thank you, love. I'm going to go back and chat.
All right.
I appreciate
Thank you for being up here.
Thank you again. I didn't want to bring drama. I appreciate you so much, hon. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. Just know we support you, Kim, and everybody in the chat. I know you guys feel the same way. Like I've told you countless times, this is a safe place for people. And if people come in here, I have enough moderators that they know how I feel about things. They don't have to put up with it either. They can just block people. It's not a big deal to me, But like I was saying, it is tragic that at times you have to feel trapped, like Kim was saying, that there's no way out, It's sad that you feel hostage in your own mind, because you feel like you're such you're so alone. And that's the worst feeling in the world, because that's how people control you. They break you down to that point, you know. They break you down to that point where you feel like you're all alone. There's nothing you can do, and that's not true. There's always a way to empower yourself. And it starts small. You know, if you are suffering from any kind of, like she said, you know, you come to these channels to laugh, to have fun. I get it. You know, I get it. I get it. But you know what? If you're being too triggered by whatever channel that you're watching, you know, sometimes you just need to unsubscribe. Go somewhere else where you know that chat's not going to attack you. That chat's going to be able to hear you out. You know, where people are going to talk kind to you, where you're able to be heard, not just seen. You know, I experience it too. You know, I go into some chats and I say hello. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not even acknowledged. You know, I don't expect to be acknowledged, but a hello, you know, glad you're here, whatever, from one person would be nice, you know, but to just be made felt like you just, you know, like whoever the creator is, it makes you feel like they've talked crap about you and people are scared to interact with you once you enter the room. Have you ever felt that? Like you walk into a room and everybody's talking and chatting, and then you walk in and instantly it's crickets, silent. And you know one or two things. They're either uncomfortable by your presence for a reason, or they were just talking about you, or they have talked about you. You know, so so try to remember that, you know, you don't have to feel alone in this world, because for whatever reason, people feel it's okay to beat you down, to try to control you, to stalk you, to try to control who you're around, what you're going to say, what you're going to do, you know, and that's not okay. It's not okay. It's never okay. Because you don't know what people have walked through in their lifetime. You don't know what they've overcame. Because there's a lot of fighters and survivors in this world. They've just learned to civilize themselves to get along. They understand being hurt. They understand being traumatized. And they take the high road. But don't ever underestimate the power of a survivor, because you know what? That is a fierce fight right there. That is a fight like no other. They've walked through hell to get to the other side. You don't think that a person like you is going to be enough to stop them from doing what they want to do when they've made it through hell? Get over yourself. It's just tragic. I mean, it's when you've seen hell, you can smile at the face of fire and be like, okay, bring it on. I got plenty of water in me. You know? Isn't that true? To be a survivor of anything empowers you to the point where you do not flinch at the sign of trouble. You don't. But at the same time, people do not understand that concept. They believe that many people are weak. That if we gang up on you, you're not going to speak your truth, your honesty, that you're going to shut up and you're going to run. But you know what? Many people don't, who've actually made it through some things, who've actually lived a life for a while. Not everybody was raised in the soft ad generation that we have nowadays. And no disrespect, but it is soft. Some of us were raised whenever, you know, there was no tears, there was no crying, there was no making excuses. You did what you had to do to get through the fire. And many of us have scars to prove where there's no videos or pictures to describe. You know? So never underestimate the power of somebody who's been there. A lot of people don't like to flex their survival in the face of evil. But you know what? If you try to bring it out of people, they're going to show you what they're about. And chances are you're not going to know what the fury of that survival's heart will be able to show you. It scares people more than you confront them in a calm, rational manner and remain in emotional control. It's so freeing when you do it too. Exactly. This individual who I was talking to earlier, who will remain unnamed, because I enjoy our conversations and I can never say that word, anonymity of it all. He said, "Man, you've done a lot. You do a lot. You actually are more than a therapist." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't like to brag on what I do because I know that there's a lot of individuals in these chats that are professional people as well, or have been professionals, or they do things that they've overcame a lot of things. I don't like to brag about what I do, but I have worked with the most difficult population on the planet, and that's criminals, for 20 years. And if you learn nothing more from working with the criminal minded, is you have to be one step ahead of them. I prefer to be two steps ahead, because in that way you checkmate before they even realize that you're playing. These YouTube streets ain't shit, really. They aren't. Not compared to real life. If you get on here and you talk about real life and your struggles and your worries and your fears and all this other stuff, you know what? I respect you more doing that than talking to me about somebody you don't even know, somebody that you want to find justice for, somebody that you want to do this and that for. You know what? What happens? What kind of joy do you get from finding out that the mother ended up being the one that killed them or took them or this or that and the other? I enjoy a good mystery as well as the next person. But you know what? Like I said earlier, what have you done to make this world a better person? I mean, a better place. What have you done to make yourself a better place? Honestly, what have you done? Started a channel? That gives you street cred? You started a channel? It don't give me no street cred. To get up and go to work every day and support myself and to help people and try not to take more than I give, that is street cred. Wow, Kim, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. But you're right. Fight abuse, stand up and speak up. You know? Post, for the longest time, I thought you were Woke Up 1984. I did. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought that was you. That was another name that you used or something. But thank you so much, Kim. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. And that comes from my heart. It doesn't come from any other place. You know, the way to heal is to find a way to not give these individuals power anymore, to not give them power. The power to talk down to you, the power to make you feel any way that you're not trying to feel. You know, one of the worst things you could do with somebody with PTSD is corner them and continue and continue and continue. That person is very volatile at that point. And I see your concern, Kim, for that person. I really do. I wish I knew who it was. I'd reach out myself. But if you know who they are and they need to talk or they need somebody in their corner, give them my channel and tell them to email me. I'll talk to them. No big deal. But when you have PTSD, the littlest thing can trigger you. The littlest things. You know, people yelling at me and screaming at me, or, you know, telling me what I need to do or control me. That's a quick way to get a reaction from me. Because I grew up in that type of household. I've learned how to overcome it because I learned to talk about it. I learned to deal with it. But some people don't know how. And until they learn, have you ever heard this saying, hurt people hurt people? Well, you know, as a society, we're done being hurt just because you're hurt. There comes a point where you can't use things as an excuse anymore. You're a grown ass person. Get the help you need, just like you tell other people. You're crazy. You're this. You're that. You're this. Well, you're just feeding into that craziness. What type of crazy are you? Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. You know? You want to make a right? Stop perpetrating the lies. Stop lying. Get honest with what you're really about rather than who you're about behind this freaking camera. If you're a piece of shit, then say you're a piece of shit. At least you own it. You'll get respect that way. People will respect you. But don't say that you're caring and loving and this and that and the other. And feel that you're all powerful just because you got a freaking channel. Free speech has never been free. There's people that have lost their lives for that free speech. They have paid the ultimate price so that we could be able to speak our minds openly. Just because you don't know how to respond does not make somebody wrong. Just because you feel that you're all knowing and all right does not make you the all knowing. Like I said earlier, I have to challenge myself every day, every morning, every day of all day long. I'm challenging myself to be better. This person who remained nameless, I told him, I said, you know that live that I did at 3 o'clock today? That live sucked. And they started laughing, and I was like, you did. And they're like, why do you say that? I said, because I didn't like it. I didn't like how boring it was. I'm better off the cuff. I'm better spontaneous than trying to plan something. Because when it's planned, it usually goes to crap. Any of y'all in chat like that? You ever plan something great and it goes to crap, but when you're spontaneous, you're successful? Any of y'all like that? Welcome, all you new chatters. I haven't seen some of you in here, but I know that you're subscribers. Thank you. Thank you for being in here. Yeah, when I plan, things just don't go right. When I'm spontaneous and I have a little bit of a plan, boy, it's on cue. Like tonight, I got on here and I thought, what name can I give my stream tonight? And this is what came out. And you notice my weird ringtone, right? You notice that I haven't had any notes to look at. I haven't tried to control the chat. I haven't done any of that. And things just flow off. Yeah, that was the goat scream. I heard Schwank talk about it one day on her show, and I thought, I've never heard that goat scream. She played it, and I made it into like my notification. I wouldn't suggest it for the middle of the night though, because you could be sitting there sound asleep, and that goat scream, and it'll make you like want to climb the walls. It's so bad. You know, it's terrible. But back to what I was saying is, you know, if you want to empower yourself, you just take a breath. You just take a breath and you allow yourself to go to a happy state of mind, wherever that is. If your PTSD is overwhelming, turn the lights off, turn the computer off, turn your phone off, and sit there in silence and focus on something to stop the fire. Something that stops the fire burning. Something that gives you peace. Peace of mind. Where your heart starts to beat again instead of fluttering. When your breathing starts to flow and slow down instead of racing and you're hyperventilating. You might try this. If only just to get through your day, just turn the lights off. Then once you're calm, step outside, give yourself a hug, and tell yourself everything's going to be all right. Because it is. You're just reenacting something that hurt you. Is this where all the cool kids hang out? I would say we're all cool. I've seen a lot of people hang out in other places, but, you know, you're always welcome here. I don't know. I think I've seen your name before, but I'm not sure. But I want you to, you know, I said this in the Sunday stream. Give yourself a big old hug. And hang on. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. You know, I used to always say that. I used to always say that because I worked in a therapeutic community, and that meant that you were about to get wrote up or you were about to get some act right, and somebody was bringing help your way that you didn't know you needed. So I started saying it to myself when I was overwhelmed and I was just having bad day. And I always told myself, 12 gauge, help is on the way. Because you know what? Help is on the way. And you're more than just other people's perceptions. You know what? They time me out, say, peace out, I'm out. Gonna go find somewhere else where I'm respected. I don't deserve this. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to listen to this. One of the reasons I started my own channel is because you know what? I can say what I want here. I don't have to worry about other people liking what I say or what I don't say. I had somebody tell me straight up in my chat that they lost respect for me and they're going to distance themselves from me. You know what I thought to that? I thought, well, you know what? If something that I said changed your mind about me in one statement, then you really weren't bought in on me at all, because I believe that I say a lot more good things than I say idiotic things, you know? One thing you guys don't know about me is I used to facilitate, they call them groups, and it was group therapy. And I used to do 2 3 hour groups a day. So that was like 6 hours a day, 3 times a week. So one thing I can tell you is I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And in talking, most of the time it makes sense. And I get to the end and I tie it all together. Yeah, it's manipulation. Look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, last night, like I was telling the chat earlier, I work for juvenile probation and I'm on call this week. So at any time that this bat phone goes off and I have to end the stream abruptly, please don't take offense to it. But last night I got called at midnight and this kid had broken the law, and my boss called me and her and myself got in the cruiser, and we have to put a waist restraint on him with handcuffs and leg iron to transport him. I have a Tahoe, or the place where I work has a Tahoe, two of them actually, and we transport in the Tahoes just like a cop's car. Well, um, transported that kid. He was intoxicated, and I started talking to him. He was upset. He was mad. He was angry. I started talking to him, and I said, you know, I thought I've had rapport with him, so I started talking to him, and I said, tell me about your job. I knew that you were supposed to meet with me the other day, but you didn't make it. So tell me about your job. I know that you have a job, that you work hard, this, that, and the other. And I started talking to him about his job, and it started calming him down. And I started talking to him about his girlfriend, and I started talking to him about this, that, and the other. And eventually he was calm. Even when I was putting the cuffs on him to put him in the Tahoe, he was calm. Drove him over there. He didn't start a ruckus. Got them over there. Everything was great. Does it always go that way? No. But I've learned along the way that, some people used to tell me, hey, Gage, you can get more bees with honey than you can vinegar. I never understood that, and I thought it was a stupid saying, but it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm going to pass that along to y'all. You can get more honey, more bees with honey than vinegar. I still not caught up on my sleep, so I'm just like, my brain is not firing as fast as it normally does. You know, yeah, it is at time Texas because I've seen kids shooting guns at each other, having shootouts in the streets at the YM, at the local places and stuff. And we've had to lock them up and just, you know, it's terrible. It's terrible. But when you get to talking to a juvenile, like all this mental manipulation and gang stalking happens around that age. And it's hard to believe, whenever, since we're talking about YouTubers and, creators and this and that and the other, not making any excuses for any of them, but you have to ask yourself this question. How come it's so hard for them to comprehend that they're being rude? How come it's so hard for them to comprehend that they're jumping on something that shouldn't even be jumped on? How come it's so hard for them not to walk away? And how come when the creator is abusing their subs or people in the chat, how come people are cheering that on? So you have to ask yourself that question. And then you have to tell yourself, they can be in here and do that. I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here, and I can go. Because just because they have a platform does not make them the know-all, end-all. And another thing, there's individuals that I worked with, a lot of criminals, and the ones I worked with, a lot of them, used to brag how much more money they made than me and this and that and the other, and they worked in the oil field and they made all this money and this and that, and I was just a therapist and I didn't make no money and blah, blah. Well, you know what? It's not how much money you make. It's the level of respect that you have for your own life. If you can't respect yourself, you can't ever expect respect from that person. You can't. Just like love. Look how people talk to themselves, what they say out their mouths, how they treat others. And that will tell you a lot of how they view their world. Most people are very angry at the world today. And you were right earlier about saying some of the things about people unaliving themselves when stuff becomes too much. That's true. I've heard about it. I've seen it. It's hard. It's hard to be a human being among the masses these days because we have so much tolerance for rude, crude, evil behavior and thoughts. I've always told people you got to pick a side. Not necessarily my side, but you got to pick a side. You're either with what you believe and what you've grown up believing that you know is right, or you just follow the mass and become part of the problem. Very sad world. Hit a 1 if you're enjoying what I'm saying. Hit a 10 if you don't. Hit a 5 if you're undecided. Any of you people in chat that aren't a subscriber, if you enjoy the content, please hit subscribe when it's done. Hit the like if you enjoy the content on your way out when the stream is done. You know, sometimes we must pull that inner person out of us, that survivor. I believe we get so consumed in these drama cases of who's right and who's wrong, and what you know, what you don't know, what you can prove, and this, that, and the other. Tell me what you've done for humanity today, and I'll have a conversation with you. Don't tell me about a white Elantra. Don't tell me about who you thought was the killer and who's innocent, who's guilty. Don't tell me about whether you thought that Seth is a good person or Chris and Katie are the bad parents. I don't care. Tell me about you. What type of person are you? That's what matters. Because if you're not a good person, you'll never see a good person. If you're an angry person, everybody you encounter will be an opposition and a reason to be angry. Try to remember there's a bit of good in everybody. You just have to find it sometimes. No matter how much they want you to push them away. And at that point, if you're a religious person or you have a spiritual connection, then pray for them. Or wish good on them, because wishing evil on evil is only going to make your world even harder. Love people from a distance. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it's hella difficult, especially when people hurt you over and over and over and over again. It's terrible. Does anybody else want to jump up on the panel for a minute? I'll put the link down. Post, you want to jump up here? I always enjoy when you're up here. Anybody, you don't have to show your face. Just come up here and talk. Where's Jeffy? I don't know. I think he's cleaning or something. All right, Post, let me give you the link. Either one of you can come up or both of you can come up. Then I can have two posts up here. No, we didn't have live music tonight. It wasn't a good night for it. Howdy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I love this topic for the show. I appreciate it a lot because, you know, I don't I honestly I don't want to sound like a jerk, but like I don't really care what people say. Like I've had people say some stuff to me on occasion in my chat, but for the most part it's like your chat where I have a group of nice people that listen, and I think what you put out is what you get back. So if you're respectful and you're kind and, you try to look at everyone's point of view and stuff, then I think that people will be attracted to your channel, right? But
Hmm.
you will get like some people that come in sometimes, and for me, and I wasn't always like this, but I am now, and it's such a sense of freedom when you get there. I genuinely don't care. Like I really truly don't care if someone comes in and tells me I'm stupid or I look ugly or why am I doing it that way or this is wrong, or I genuinely just don't care. And when you get to that point, it's such a sense of freedom. And just one other thing I would say is one of the ways that I got to that point was, that saying, speak the truth or speak up, even if your voice shakes. That's what I did. When I first started doing it, like just in my professional life, personal life, whatever, my voice would shake a little, my hands would tremble a little, and I'd be scared to death, like something horrible was about to happen. And then I realized nothing happened, and I actually felt better afterwards. And then it was like, oh, this is a piece of cake.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, standing up for yourself sometimes when your voice has been beaten down for so long, it's hard to get that voice again without it being angry. It takes practice to, like you said in chat a while ago, to keep that calm demeanor and not let them know that they have to bring that side of you that you don't want brought out.
Right. And then I always think about the Cartman triangle. It's that triangle that has its victim, hero, and I can't remember the third one right now.
Perpetrator.
Yes. And so that's what a lot of people I see in YouTube get stuck on, where they become either the victim or the perpetrator. What was the other? I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting.
Perpetrator.
Yep, perpetrator, victim. Oh, and the hero. And the hero. And I used to play the hero a lot in my personal life, and it became exhausting where I would come in and save the day, right? Like I would stick up and I would do this and that. And I still do that in some senses, but I had to learn how to not do that as often because it does drain your energy, right? To be the hero.
Mhm.
And
Were
so
you ever
whenever I see
the
that,
Were you ever
sorry.
the comedian or the mascot of the family, the
Um
scapegoat?
I was more the scapegoat in my family, but honestly, like I can't complain too much about, I think when I was younger, my childhood, I really do think we all have childhood trauma. I just do. I think it's impossible not to get through childhood without
You're
trauma.
right. You're right.
But right? But it just depends on the degree of that trauma. And certainly there are people that have horrific degrees of trauma, and then not as much. But I would say I don't know what mine was, but I had trauma. And but now I have to, I thank God, honestly, that my family, it's not like that dynamic when I was younger. Like we all get along and stuff. So it's not the same as it was. But I have been the scapegoat in the past, to answer your question. Yeah.
So you are a creator, and is there any? I've been in your chats, and there's not drama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there anything that you would suggest to any of the subs in this chat that they could do to kind of keep themselves safe, other than what I've suggested? Because I'm open to your suggestions as well. Because I'm sure that you probably tell your subs, certain things as well.
Well, I mean, you gave a lot of really excellent advice. I don't know if I can add much to it. I would just say, I'll be honest, like I interact with my chat when I'm on when I usually do pre-recorded live. Sometimes I'll do a live, but I'm always in the chat and I'm interacting. And like I said, to be honest, I really haven't had anybody come in and give a lot of crap, right? But I don't, I guess when I do see that kind of crap, I would, you know, I let people go a little while when I've seen it, because I do believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And this is just my take, and everybody has their own, but I believe that offense has to be taken. You have to give consent to take offense to someone when they come in and start saying nasty things. And I don't allow them to do that to me. I'm not going to allow you to do that to me. Your opinion is, if you're going to come in and be nasty and disrespectful to me or someone in the chat, like, either I'll yeet them or I'll go back at them right while I'm online. And I'm not angry. It's just more or less a discussion. Like, well, that's an interesting thing to say. What do you have anything else to add to the fact that you think I'm X, Y, and Z? You know, and so I think just confronting it, I guess, is the biggest thing. And like Kim was saying, you know, earlier, confronting it, just saying something, you know, is the
Yeah.
first step.
I mean, I think the block button and the timing out thing, I think it's crap. Like, you know, as adults, we should know how to deal with a situation better than to block somebody or
Mhm.
time them out. I
I
mean, I
agree.
understand the block button, but timing somebody out, that's like saying go sit in the corner until you can act right. That's so dumb.
No, I totally agree. I've never used the timeout button ever. I don't have like crazy busy chats or anything, but I'm against it. And to block or yeet or whatever, like they've got to be like pretty offensive for me to do that. Cause it can be towards me. If it's toward other people in the chat, like, you're gone. I'm not going to have somebody come in and do that to other people.
Right.
But if it's to me, I'll let it go for a while, because whatever, say what you want to say, you know. I don't care, you know. And I
Yeah.
agree with you, you know.
Hey, Mod, can you post his channel in the chat so people can go over there and check her out?
Oh, that's nice
Um,
of you. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
like the channel. I like your new intro. I thought that was so cool.
oh, thanks. Yeah, I was on the Vinnie Politan one is my favorite, because I got him to say that without paying without
Yeah.
paying it like a super chat.
Yeah.
And
Like the one that you had with the courtroom one with the guy dancing, that is just classic. That's just
oh, the
classic.
sidebar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just classic.
You got
It shows your creative and your funny side. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think humor for me, it's
It's
definitely a big
called
defense
Post Woke World. It's Post Woke World. Yes. And she does a lot of different true crime. She does some on the Idaho 4. She does the Karen Reed as of recently, and she done some other cases that I've seen her do. It's very informative over there. And as you can tell, she has a calm demeanor. I've never heard her, you know, like get out of line with anybody.
Trust me, you don't want to see that. I bet you're the same way. It takes a long time to get there, but when I do, boy, watch out.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, as far as being a survivor, and I know your story, you know, you and I talked about it before on the panel.
Yep.
Um, when you're a survivor of stuff like that, everything else in life, it's just trivial compared to trying to keep yourself going forward, because just like that flame in the background that's burning, when you've sat in the middle of that flame and you've felt that flame every day of your life,
Yep.
and you finally found a way out of it and a reprieve, you don't ever want to go back, not for anyone,
Absolutely.
you know?
And absolutely. 100%
Yeah.
agree. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know, and it's good that you have the ability to be on here, and that you're making a difference as well, you know, with your channel. and that that you come in other channels and you can show that you're not only a creator, but you're also a fan,
Yep, absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that YouTube can be such a great and powerful medium when you're using it like in this way, to talk about real problems, to connect with people. I'm a real human being, right? Like I'm not just some like
Yeah.
tagline. I live in the real world. I'm not in some like ether in the ether
Yeah.
somewhere.
I mean, I think we forget sometimes that the creators are just normal people. They're human beings, They're nothing really that spectacular. I mean, they do what everybody in the chat does, I'm sure.
hmm hmm
This is
Yeah.
not what I do for a living, but it's a hobby. It's a cool hobby. It's
hmm Yeah, I'm just happy that people want to hear anything I have to say, to be honest. I was shocked. And then and then and now it is a creative sort of outlet and hobby that I really do. And I like what you're
yeah.
doing here a lot. It's definitely motivated me, encouraged me to do, maybe a video or something along these lines. And if I do, hopefully you'll come over and pop in too,
Oh, you
because I
know it.
needed, I think it's needed, really.
Yeah. If you're ever free on a Sunday, I'm trying to do self-help Sunday, like in the mornings or after lunch or sometime. I usually do kind of like meditation, guided imagery stuff,
hmm
some positive music playing in the background, whatever, just very mellow.
Yep.
And in the evening, I've been trying to do kind of like this, a lot more therapeutic, um, mind invoking, trying to break the chains of mental stronghold that people may have on a daily basis. Because, I mean, mental health is a real thing. Mental health is a real thing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I like that idea. Like on a Sunday, like I could probably, join, or I'll stop in your chat or whatever,
Okay.
because I agree, and I do think, just in general, right now in the world, I'm positive I'm not the only person that feels like everything is completely different than it was a few years ago. Like it's just not the same place anymore.
You're so welcome, Kim. This is a safe place for you. So you feel free to come back anytime you'd like. And, my email address is on my channel. So if you need to pass that along to anybody that might need someone to listen, or a word of advice or suggestion, then even yourself, just email me and I'll get back to you eventually. I do have a full-time job. I'm full-time student, and I'm trying to learn this freaking guitar, but I will get back to you. You play any instruments, Post?
No, I mean I play the flute when I was in 4th grade. Does that count?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not a lot of
I
people
haven't picked
can
it up.
not a lot of people could play that thing.
Yeah, I mean I was like the 7th chair, so I wasn't exactly talented. I was
Yeah.
more of an athlete, in high school. But what did you say you're going to learn how to play the guitar?
Well, yeah, I just bought myself a guitar,
Oh, that's sweet.
and I'm trying to get my fingers to cooperate and you know try to get some sound out of it that doesn't sound like a cat wailing. You know, you know.
That's awesome. It's
But
so good
yeah,
for your brain too to learn something new like that. As I'm not saying because you're older, but I mean you're not 15, right? Like that's when a lot
right.
of people take band or whatever. And like to pick something up as we get older, like a new language or that, it's just so good for your brain, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I used to work I've done a lot of jobs, but one of the jobs I used to work is MR and MH, and some nursing homes as well. And what I noticed is a lot of the people, when they don't use their hands or their muscles, they get constricted. you
Mhm.
know, and you have to literally just kind of pull them apart to give
Mhm.
them some kind of range of motion. And I really don't want that to happen, you know. So I try to find different hobbies to incorporate that. Because you know the for whatever reason you go to sleep and you wake up and it's like this wasn't hurting last night. What the hell is this? Like I
Right.
can't reach that pain, you know. It's like, this wasn't hurting. My ears ringing, my throat hurts. I mean, what is going on? You know?
It's
Yeah,
gravity. It catches up to all of us.
yeah, yes. It's terrible. It's terrible. You just don't understand it. You know, you wake up, you lean over to tie your shoe, and you hear pop, 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 pop. You're like,
Mhm.
what was that?
I'm with you, man. I'm like in my mind, I'm still, for the longest time, I was like 15 or 18. And then like as I got older in my 30s, I was like 20 in my mid 20s. And now
Yeah,
that I'm, older, I'm in my brain, I'm probably somewhere in my 30s right now.
me
It's just
too. Me
it's
too. Yeah.
never the age I am. It's always much younger how I feel. But then you look in the mirror, like you said, the pains, and you're like, I guess I am actually been here a little longer than that.
Right. I mean, I don't know what happened. It just seemed like when you're going to 40 and then you wake up in 50, you're just like, okay, where did that 10 years go? That span just, it feels like you just went to sleep and you woke up and you're in a different decade. It's like, how did this
um,
happen?
Absolutely. I
You know, it's
feel it.
terrible. But, you know, I hope that we continue on our both channels to be giving people a safe place to land, you know, because sometimes you need a safe place to land because life is hard. Life is not easy, you know. There's a lot of variables that keep people on edge on a daily, whether it be financial, whether it be spiritual, whether it be emotional. You know,
Hmm.
we need to have a safe place to land sometimes, you know.
No, I really appreciate your sentiment, and I actually have an idea. I'll email it to you. I have an idea of something we could discuss that I think will be really powerful for people because your psychology background, and I have a couple things we can show that I think will help open up people's minds to sort of some of the things
Okay.
that they can fall prey to.
Well, you have my email, you know, you can email me anytime.
Yeah, I'm gonna email it to you because I was thinking about it when I was in your chat earlier, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should do something on this, but I preferred it. I think it'd be fun if we did it together, if we kind of went over it together with people.
That's fine.
Um, and then I also do think people need a safe place to land because not everyone. I read a statistic earlier today that 1 in 6 people don't even have one friend that they could call up if they were in need or with help, and that really that makes me really, it makes me feel very sad, honestly. I'm not saying that people in our chat are like this, or I'm not, that's not what I'm saying, but you really
Right.
just don't know. Like you said, you just don't know. And so
I
these
mean, one
communities.
in six people, that's tragic, you know,
Yes.
that you I mean, and to be fair, the older you get, you lose a lot of people along the way that might have been your safe landing spot. You
Mhm.
know, you lose people that maybe you called every day and for whatever reason they're not here anymore. So you didn't replace them because you relied on their friendship and their kindness and their caring for so long.
Mhm.
Now you're kind of lost. You don't have that. So you go looking for it and it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm an outcast. I can't find anybody that I can relate to,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, and
I
it's
agree.
tragic. It's tragic.
Yeah, suicide is at an all-time high right now, especially with young men. I think they've kind of gotten the shaft in our recent cultural debates and stuff, and they're one of the most lost groups of people right now. But
Yeah.
um, so and yeah, like you just don't know. And I think, I mean, I, I- I'll tell you right now, like somebody could call me crazy and I'm just like, well, yeah, have you looked around this place? Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
like I think that's the default. That's actually the default normal if you know, with the way the world's going. And I do think part of it is due to like a huge shift. Like, remember when we went from like agriculture to the industrial age?
Yeah,
Right now we're in the midst of another huge change in humanity, and we're living through that. And I think that causes a lot of people to lose footing. They don't feel solid ground. You know what I mean? Do you feel that
yeah,
way?
yeah. I mean, there's no trust in the world. There's very little hope. I believe that technology, even though it brings us together and it brings us to places faster and it gives us a platform like what we have right now, there's an ugly side on the other side, that's used for malicious purposes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, it's sad that we can't even, have a conversation at the family table anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kids stay up all night, sleep all day. They don't see the sunshine. They don't know how to conversate. Their first tone of voice is anger or, frustration a lot of times. Um, Even adults don't know how to conversate half the time. You say thank
Exactly.
you.
I know. I was just thinking that myself. The kids.
you
Let's talk about the adults. They're losing it
yeah, I
too.
mean, I could hold the door for somebody and, they walk through it. They don't say thank you. They don't say, excuse me. People don't move out of your way when you're walking. They bump you. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's not that it's expected. I don't want to give the wrong impression. But when you're raised a certain way, that just doesn't go away a lot of times. You're raised never yell at your elders or never backtalk your elders or never, say thank you, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, no. You don't say yeah or huh or, none of that.
Yep. I'm
And
with you.
somehow it's gotten cool to be a dumbed down generational humanity. It's like it's cooler to be dumb acting than to be smart. It's like it's not cool to have intellect. It's not cool to have manners. It's not cool to have values or morals or beliefs that aren't pushed upon you by somebody else. It's interesting to me the individual to get mad when somebody's trying to push something on them, but yet they don't have the initiative to do things on their own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the criminal justice system. They don't want to be told what to do, but yet if you leave them by themselves, they're so antisocial that they're just going to run havoc in their lives and put so many people at risk. Somebody has to step in to monitor that.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of that right now too. A lot.
Yeah.
And
And it's just tragic that, you know, people get people are angry because others are trying to help them, but yet they don't see the help that they need. It's almost like you can show somebody, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're you might need to change this because your life is out of order, but yet they'd say, yeah, I know, I'll do it. And then next week they're asking for money. Or they're asking for a ride, or they're asking
mm-hmm.
for, food or whatever. And you're like, hey, I just gave you some suggestions. Yeah, but I did that and nobody helped me. So therefore, I'm going to try to get it another way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, like looking at the news, and I know the news sometimes sensationalize stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but Oakland, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, all the homeless camps. It's like the city looks like a third world.
It
It
definitely does. Yeah.
doesn't even look like a city anymore. The city don't even look like a city anymore.
it does look like a third world. I agree. And I think it's been systematically building for however, maybe 30, 40 years. And now we've kind of reached the pinnacle of all of this stuff that, unfortunately, we've all allowed to happen. I mean, I personally didn't do it. You personally, no one personally did it, but as a collective, as a humanity collective, we've
Hmm.
allowed to get it to this space. And I think you said this on a stream yesterday or recently about, saving the whole world. I think you were talking about that. And I feel that because part of what I used to feel was like I had to do something and to help save what people, right? But then you first have to save yourself. Like you just have to save yourself, meaning, I got sober, that was part of it, but it's more than just that. It's just, you know, understanding like who you are, what you're about, and then treating yourself with kindness and respect. And then in turn, then you treat others that way. And really just one small act can save someone's life, like you doing, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a gesture. It can be these kind of topics and things. And if it's one person that feels better because of it, like I feel better just talking about it, so it's,
Yeah.
you know,
I went into my line of work believing that if I just touch one person, then I was successful,
absolutely.
because I mean, I wasn't like that in the beginning. In the beginning, I wanted, I had a clientele list of 80. I wanted to save every one of them.
Right.
And if they relapsed, I looked at it as a personal failure. How could I have let one of my people
Right.
relapse?
You were in the hero mode. You were in that hero
Yeah,
mode, right?
yeah, yeah. But I mean, then I learned you plant the seed, like I've been told too by people that I respected very highly. You plant the seed, you can't water it and get it to heaven.
No,
That's not your job. You plant the seed and you walk away, you know?
absolutely. Hmm.
You can't do the harvesting and everything else. That's not your
No, you
job.
really can't. Don't you want to try? I bet you tried your damnedest to do it though, right? Because I know I sure did so many
Yeah,
times, right? And it gets so you
yeah,
get so exhausted and beat down from it, and you feel so mad at yourself, like you beat yourself up, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like there's no way that I can, I was an athlete for a lot of years myself. I played a lot of football and I was pretty good at it. And I always believed that, I couldn't let my teammates down by me making a bad play or something. So I kind of I kind of took the mentality into my adult life that same mantra, I can't let people down, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at the family, where you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I've always been the overachiever, I guess, and all that did was fuel my addiction in the past because you can't be full throttle without having some way to calm down, and that was my life. So I had to find a way to find balance in my life, and it was like this fire right here, and I saw this earlier because I've used this fire before. It's a barbecue pit, actually.
I
And
actually like it a lot. Like it's soothing to me. So
I was thinking, thank you, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's like as a society, we're in the middle of this fire, but there's still people telling us that it's not fire that we're feeling. It's just a really warm day. They
right,
minimize
right.
they minimize they minimize the effect of the fire burning. It's
Right,
like
right. Wait, that's a flame, right? Like my feet are getting hot and I smell something, right? Right? Oh no, it's not a fire. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
no, it's not a fire. It's not a fire. It's not a fire at all. It's just a really warm
Oh
day. You're
shit.
gonna be okay
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you know
you'll be
what?
fine. Just deep
Yeah, the
breaths,
more
deep
that I
breaths.
convince you that you're not in the fire, you're gonna stay in the fire longer.
That's right. That's right.
Instead of empowering yourself to get out, I'm going to convince you. No, that's not really a fire that you're feeling.
Right, right.
It's just a really warm day. You'll be all right. Just
Uh-huh.
take a deep breath. You'll be
Those
okay.
those aren't burns on your arms or blisters. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. You're seeing things.
Yeah, your skin's not falling off of you. It just, I don't know what that is, it just, it's incredible the way that we're being, people want to control us by the conspiracies and the opinions and the lack of respect for what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got tired of burning. I really
Yeah.
did. I got
Mm-hmm.
tired of it.
Yeah.
Because I
No,
believe the lies too. It's just a warm day. You'll be fine. You're
right.
strong. You've been through worse. Just here's a little bit of water. Drink
Right.
just a little bit. You'll be all right.
Look, there's a squirrel. Look at the squirrel. Right.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh, don't look at the fire. Just look behind you. You'll be all right. You'll be okay.
It's so
Yeah.
true, though. It's so true. And I was one of those people. I was chicken little problem when I first got sober. I was chicken little because I woke up to so many things that were happening that I was like, holy shit, holy shit. Dude, sorry, I shouldn't. I'm like, shoot, like, can you believe this? This is the world is like, there's a problem, guys.
Yeah.
And I stopped
The
that
sky
guy.
is falling. The sky is
Hmm.
falling.
Yep, absolutely. But
If
after
you
living
notice
in
in the
that
right there
sort of
when he
state,
poured that water, on that flame, instead of thinking the
yep,
flame's going to go out, that's what people do to you. They pour water on you, and you think you have a reprieve, but what does it do? It makes it hotter.
it sure does. Yep. No, it's so
So,
true.
so the
It's so
chat, I want y'all to think about this analogy when you're thinking about your life, or you're thinking about the chat room that you're in, or anything like that. Find a way out of this fire, because just because people are convincing you, they're pouring water on you to cool you down, look what it's doing. It's actually making you hotter, and it's burning you up. You got to find a safe place to land.
so true.
You
So
know,
true.
you can't be flying.
People need it. We all need it. I mean, I'm
Of
no
course,
different.
of course.
I need it too. I want to be in a place where I feel comfortable and at ease and things like that. And so, yeah, we all need it. And there is not enough compassion and love in the world right now. I mean, it was never perfect, but when I was growing up, things at least seemed balanced. But right now, they don't seem very balanced.
Well, have you noticed that also that we don't have those grandparents we used to have? I see grandparents these days, and the grandparents are all tatted up and they got piercings everywhere, and they're wearing skinny jeans and they're riding skateboards and all this stuff. And I'm like, where's the grandparents that I grew up?
Right,
Where
right.
are the safe places to go? Like,
You're
and
just
there's
looking for
no
some
judgment
white-haired,
against that
blue-haired
lifestyle,
woman.
okay? I don't want you to think that.
Right.
But I remember used to could when everything else failed and the world was falling apart, you could always go to grandma's house, and that was your safe place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she gave you that. Grandma or grandpa gave. I've never known my grandparents. I knew a couple of my grandmas, but I didn't know my grandfathers. They died early. But you know, you could always go to grandma's house and you'd get fed. You get that water you needed to kind of cool down a little bit. You could, oh, you're tired, just go take a nap, honey, it's all right, just don't worry about anything. You know and you wake up, grandma have fresh cookies and milk and everything, just making everything better.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I
Thankfully
agree.
I have my mom still, that does that for me, but I can't imagine for anybody who doesn't have their mothers or their grandmothers or anything like that.
It
Just
makes
sad.
life hard. It makes it a lot harder for people. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful, I still have my family in my life, but a lot of people don't. And I know that that could change at any moment for any one of us. And
Yeah.
to be, I'm just, I always, so a little story, quick story. I, did I tell you the story about the guy on the subway? I think I told you this story, right? The guy on the subway with the kids running up and down, wreaking
I think
havoc.
you did. Yeah, go ahead and share it again.
All right, yeah. This is just a story I bring up whenever I talk about compassion, and I taught it to my kids because I kids I think lack compassion nowadays for various reasons. But so it's like I think Kim said this earlier. You never know what someone else is going through, and Pebbles and a couple other people in the chat said it, and it's true. So the person, the guy walks on the subway train and he has a few of his kids with him, and he sits down and the kids are running up and down, just acting like little kids and sort of tagging on people or being silly and stuff. And people are getting more and more upset on the subway because, oh, listen, you need to take care of your kids. You're such a horrible father. And then finally somebody yelled it to him and said, this is horrible. You're such a bad parent. And then the guy said, I'm sorry. They just lost their mother. So, it's like in that moment, right? If you're the person telling the guy, what's wrong with you? You're such a bad dad, right? You feel like you can judge this person in that moment. And when he says that to you, everything, you feel shame. If you're a good person, you have some shame about yourself. Like, well, why did I even do that? Why did I look at it that way to begin with? Why did I at least not recognize there might be another explanation? And maybe he needs help, or at least just be quiet and not make it worse, right?
Right.
So it's just one of those things. I think it's helpful to sort of highlight.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy and a story, to explain exactly what true crime has become. Instead of looking at the situation as what it is, we always awfulize it to make things what we don't even know about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a story earlier. I don't know if you've heard about it, about the 12-year-old girl that got raped and murdered by two illegals.
Oh my
in
God,
Texas.
yes.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for somebody to start blaming the mom.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
waiting for somebody to start blaming the mom,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even blaming the 12-year-old.
It happens all the time in true crime, and I see it all the time. And every time I see it, I don't know, blaming the victim, first of all, the child, and then the mother as well, when you have no idea. And I'm sorry, but when I was young, I used to sneak out all the time. And it's not because my parents weren't strict, trust me, because if I
No
got caught, I got
way.
in trouble.
You were the sneaker outer?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was a hellion when I was a kid. Are you kidding me? I broke all the rules.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's good to know because I used to sneak out too.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. But I mean, she was 12 years old. She had a 13-year-old boyfriend. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I wouldn't be okay with it.
Oh, yeah,
If I
no.
was her father, I wouldn't.
Yep.
I mean, I would be okay. We don't know what kind of relationship they had. Maybe they were just friends.
That's the whole thing, right? And you just caught you just, and you don't judge. I know, like, it's one of the reasons I respect you as a creator, like, but that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Like, they're calling that her boyfriend, but what does that mean at 13? I mean, it depends on where your culture around you, what it means, right? It could be any number of things.
We don't know if that household was so small that her actually sneaking out was sneaking out. Maybe she shared a room with her little brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, maybe the brother, maybe what if, but maybe that sneaking out cost her her life because she was going through something, and maybe that boyfriend was her safe place to land.
Yep. Absolutely.
And we don't know.
No, we don't.
But instantly it's, well, the mom had her at 15, so that judgment there.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that, but it doesn't, like, to me, that's that's helpful in terms of like the dynamics, etc. But I have zero judgment on the mother. Like, you're
Of
not going to catch
course.
me judging a mother for that.
Of
She had
course.
the
She-
girl.
I mean, she just lost her daughter, you know? She just lost her daughter.
Absolutely. No, I just, it's horrific. It happens a lot in the Idaho 4 case too. And I actually ended up doing a video on the Chapins because, and this is, look, people can judge and say what they want or whatever, but I just felt compelled to do a video about the Chapins because I just heard a lot of negativity, and I was like trying to understand why people, look, I think it's a little odd the way they reacted, but I have never lost a child, nor do I want to. So I'm not going to
Right.
judge, so.
But in reality, we don't know if they're getting professional counseling. We
Right.
don't know if they're on medication,
Yep.
because a lot of that can help you heal behind the scenes where people can see you talking positively because that's what you've been taught to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks to people like you're just cold and callous, but maybe that's how you heal.
Exactly right. No, 100%. It's just about the being compassionate, to someone else. In addition to the fact that I don't know these people, right? Like, I don't know
Right.
anyone that died in Idaho. I don't know the Chapins. So the last thing I'm going to do is start jumping on my high horse and judging their reaction. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing when you do that? Right? Like, I don't get it.
I don't understand the concept of attacking the victims' families or trying to dig up dirt on the families when you have a favorite or a not favorite. You know, obviously, most of the society has some family member that has either been in prison, incarcerated, dealing with drug addiction, alcoholism, any kind of other addiction. I know that there's very few families that have these dynamics that haven't gone on, or even lost a parent, have a step parent, and or have been a family of divorce or something of that nature, which were all the dynamics in these four children's lives. It seems like the Chapins, if you're going to put any kind of stability on a family, it seemed like they had the most stable family of all the four.
That's my take on them. Honestly, that's my take. Like, and there's all different ways, but at the end of the day, she, particularly the mother, I feel like she's some women are the leaders in the family, like the figurehead, the motherhead,
Yes.
whatever. And that's their that's a cultural thing as well. And whatever it is, though, they've tried to do something positive out of a tragedy. And that's all I can really say about it. I'm not
I
gonna.
mean, she wrote a book
Hmm.
to memorialize her son.
And she got shit over that too. Everybody
Yes.
has something to say about it, and it's like,
I
and
mean,
that's fair. Look, people have a right to speak their mind, right? 100%. I'm just saying, for me, especially with true crime, like, it took a lot for me to even come out and do anything. But in my mind, I just always want to keep that in the back. Like, I don't want to lose that integrity. I think it's really important to keep that when you're reporting on these kind of cases.
well, when I first started live streaming or uploading videos, and I had decided I was going to do true crime and therapy stuff, my take on true crime is what my channel's about. It's about deep diving into the cases, understanding the dynamics of how they were killed, explaining to the audience different variations of the court process, or the evidence-based investigations, or visual things to show the audience exactly what the crime is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what we might think, we're not all experts at understanding the concepts of investigating or trying a crime or any of that. And I thought it'd be helpful to go through that process.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
And
Yeah,
then
no,
I
you do a
noticed,
really good job of it too. Like, honestly, you bring the sanity to the case, I guess is the best way to put it. You bring the sanity to the case. You're presenting things in a very methodical way, almost like like I feel like I'm taking a class, but a fun one that I'm interested in, you know, and
Yeah.
it's helpful, right? It's helpful,
Yeah.
and it's needed. And like, yeah, on my channel, like I do talk more about some of the more odd things or whatever, because that's just the way my mind works and the things that interest me. I always try, I look at things differently, I think. But
Right.
I do hope, and I do strive to always keep it in a respectful way. Like I'm not, that's really a big thing. Because when you go off the rails a little like I do in some of those areas, it's very easy to step into that other territory. And I don't want to do
Yeah.
that ever.
I mean, I'm going to hold true to my channel from the beginning. I told myself I'm not going to um sell myself out for nothing. Like I said, I've been in that fire. I know how quickly you can get engulfed in that fire. I'm not stupid to know it's fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a heat wave.
Right.
It's not just a heat wave. And the water they offer, it doesn't last very long, and
Yeah,
it
it ain't gonna
burns
help.
really
It ain't gonna
quickly.
help.
Yeah, just like that water right there. Do you see how quick that bubbled up
Yep.
and
You gotta stop and
gone?
roll, right? You gotta lay on the ground and roll
Yeah,
if you want to get
stop,
help.
drop, and roll. There
Yep.
you go. Stop, drop, and roll. I like that. I like that. Very good.
Oh
We used
God.
to get taught that so much, right? In school.
Yep.
Stop. If you're ever on fire, stop, drop, and roll. I mean, they made it so like it happens every day. You're gonna be walking,
Right.
and all of a sudden you're gonna combust in flames. Oh my God, I better stop, drop, and roll.
It's so true though, right? It's so true. It's like, wow, I had no idea this was something that would, impact me in any way on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Or how about the quicksand thing? I saw a meme one time that said, in my childhood, I swore that I'd have to learn how to get out of quicksand more than I have in my lifetime. Can you remember that? That used to be such a fear that you'd be walking through the woods or something,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm sinking. What am I gonna do?
They taught me since first grade how to get out of this. Like, let me.
Yes, exactly. It just man, I'm waiting for the day. Hopefully not, but
Right.
waiting for the day that if quicksand ever presents itself, or if I
Spontaneously combust.
instantly combust with flames, I'll think about stop, drop, and roll.
It's
How
so
about y'all,
true.
Chad? Did y'all ever have to go through that? You thought that somewhere, somehow, you're gonna instantly combust in flames, and you're gonna have to stop, drop, and roll.
What about giving yourself the Heimlich maneuver? Like actually, you know what I mean? Like
Hey, I
the
thought that
Heimlich.
wasn't a thing until one day. Those airborne tablets that you put in the water to dissolve?
Yep.
I put it in my mouth and then put the water. Well, what it did is it got locked in my throat.
Oh gosh.
And I couldn't breathe except out my mouth. And I'm sitting there choking in my house.
It's not funny, but I've had it happen. It's terrifying. You're flat.
And you have
like
all these thoughts.
flashing.
Stop, drop, and roll, reach for a branch, whatever it takes to save your. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? Hurry up. It's like, okay. So I grabbed the side of my couch and I'm
Yep,
putting
you
myself.
did it. Yes. Yep.
And all of a sudden that thing just pops out my mouth and I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God, I could have died just then.
You would have if you didn't do that to yourself. You would have died 100%. Are you kidding me? Like, holy shit, that's scary as hell.
Oh, Jeff has a good one right here. Just have a good one. How many mothers had their backs broken because we stepped on a crack? Here's another one. Definitely don't run with scissors.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So true. So true.
I mean, seriously, you get all this stuff drilled into you, right?
Yep.
And you're like, when it comes time to do it, you panic.
Yep.
You know, it's
No, it's
like,
well, no, it's true. It's true. I'll be honest, like because of like my work history and stuff, it's not, it just doesn't happen anymore, right? Because like I've just been through so I've seen a lot and I had to respond quickly, you know. Um, but and that's very helpful actually for the people around you to be able to remain calm. But when you're choking to death, that all goes out the window. Like you can't remain calm in that moment when it's you that's choking to death, right?
look at this one right here. If you keep making that face, it will stick that way.
Yeah. Yes. So
You know,
true.
I was out driving, or my little niece, she's 16, and I was out, being the passenger. And here's a good one too, where you always told to wait an hour after eating before going swimming.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yes. And what is the deal with that? Like what? I mean, why?
It was funny until you got that cramp, and then all of a sudden you're like, they're right. Oh my
Oh
God,
yeah.
I'm drowning. That damn sandwich is going to take me out.
It's like you suddenly have a lead belly or something, and when you get in the
Yes,
pool, you're just gonna sink to the bottom.
yes.
That's a good one
But I
too.
was saying that with my little niece, and my nephew was in the back seat, and I told her, okay, up ahead, it was two lanes running in different directions, right? We were at a stop sign. I said, okay, when this car goes by, turn into the second lane to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Well, she turned into the first lane, and I was like, no, no, go forward, go straight. And here
Uh-huh.
comes this truck just barreling down at us, right?
Oh.
And she's like, oh my God. I said, just press on the gas, go. And she turned and she's like, I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, how are you so calm? I was like, I don't know. She's like, that truck could have done this and could have done that. And I'm like,
Right.
but it didn't.
Yep. Yep.
She's like, why are you so calm? Why are you so calm? It's like, I don't know. I can't explain it. That just, I don't know.
Right. And what's more is if you try to get excited about it, you wouldn't be able to, because that's where I'm at most of the time. I'm just like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine. It's okay.
What was another one? Can you think of any other that,
Well, I can think of when my parent, one my mom used to always tell me about, which was, they were always worried about an World War III, I guess, or two. I
yeah.
don't. My mom's not that old, but to oh well, yeah, World War II. To put your head under the desk, right?
Yeah. During tornadoes and stuff, get on your knees and put your head between your legs, right? That was going to
Yes,
protect you from the tornado.
yes. There would be a drill, and then everyone gets their head under their desk. They're all squatting, like just kiss your butt goodbye, because this ain't gonna do anything.
Yes, that desk was going to protect us from a bomb.
Right.
I mean, looking back on it, you're like, well, I'm glad that they at least tried to let us die without panicking. You're
Right.
about to die. Just relax. Take a deep breath.
Actually, on that.
You froze up. You're frozen. What happened? You're frozen. Is anybody? Am I frozen? Dang, she had this trouble last time. Yeah, her internet might have died. Well, that sucks. We're having such a good time. Are y'all having a good time, chat? Y'all enjoying our conversation? Like earlier, I was showing a video and all of a sudden, Jeffrey, she made a face and now it stayed that way. Yeah, I'm glad y'all are still here. I was making sure that. You know, earlier when I was showing that video, those of you that were here in the chat and that black thing flashed across the screen, I thought, man, I got copyrighted. And hopefully, at least at this point, there's no copyright strike on me. So,
Did something happen or?
yeah, you froze up. Jeff said you made that face and it stayed that way.
That's hilarious. I love it. My biggest fear since childhood.
Oh my
All
gosh.
of our parents gaslit us. I mean, come on.
I mean, if you can't laugh, you can't cry either. I've always been told that. Those that can't laugh cannot cry either. And that's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
Well, my mother-in-law, my previous mother-in-law, I still like to call her that though because I love her. She's from North Korea, and they had a saying there that if you cry and you laugh at the same time, feathers come out of your butt.
What?
Yeah, that's like, how we have these idioms here in America, like little things like step on a crack, break your mother's back, right? So her in North Korea, the saying was, and yes, obviously she escaped. Like this was during the Korean War, so it's not like she
Right,
goes
right.
back and visits or anything, right? She goes to South Korea, but not North. But anyway, yeah. So if you laugh and cry at the same time, which I was doing one time, she told me, Jenny, you better stop, or feathers are going to come out of your butt.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny?
Yes, that's an interesting thought there. Hey,
Yeah.
Julianne. Hey, Heather. Welcome. And those of you that just came in here, we have post-work world on our panel, and we're just
Hello.
discussing different things here. How about if you swallow bubble gum?
7 years to digest, right?
Yeah, it's going to stay there. It's never going to digest.
Yeah. And how many times did I swallow bubble gum just to find out? Oh, I was that kid.
I was too. Like, so the insides of our stomach, does it look like the bottom of our desk, you two, when we stick the bubble gum underneath there?
Yes.
Remember, you'd feel under there and it'd be like like a little, I don't know, contraption, like your own sculpture made out of bubble gum instead of clay. Oh, here's a good one too, Post. Here's a good one. Don't start on watermelon seeds. Okay, so if you swallow watermelon seeds,
A watermelon's going to
gonna
grow in your
happen?
belly. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Oh my goodness.
How about this one? If you eat Pop Rocks and you drink soda at the same time, you're gonna have an explosion. It'll explode your face off. Basically, you'll explode.
Yes, exactly.
And how many times did I do that one? That was fun.
Yeah. My mom, when a kid, really thought swallowing a watermelon seed would make her pregnant.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
Watermelon seeds. So that's what happened to you women, huh?
Oh
Don't
yeah.
swallow the watermelon seed and had a watermelon baby.
That's what they talk to us about when they take the guys out of the room during health class. They bring in watermelon seeds and they explain how it works.
Oh my goodness. Are we frozen?
I don't think.
I don't think we're frozen. Oh, Heather, swallowing is going to prevent pregnancy.
Okay.
You too, Kim. You too. Thank you for being on panel and thank you for the super chat. You're always welcome here. This is your safe place to land, okay? We'll see you soon.
It was nice listening to you.
Nope, not frozen. Good.
Okay.
Faces and Frozen Shock
Shock
Face.
face. Yeah. Oh, here we go with that one.
Oh my goodness. Can
Those
y'all
were
think of
good.
any others that, any terms that you grew up hearing from your parents or your teachers that may have been false after you grew a little older that we're saying? Um,
It is funny to think about, right?
oh my God, the being under the desk, that bomb
Yeah.
is gonna. I mean, you added a more imaginary force field around your.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness, stranger danger, huh?
That's true. They always said
Stranger,
not take any candy from a stranger, which I think still holds true to this day.
yeah. I mean, it was sad. It's been sad to me that Halloween's always been an interesting holiday for me. Not that I'm pagan or anything like that, but I love the candy aspect of it. I love the mask and dressing up and all that. But I can even remember back then that we used to have to go through the candy and make sure there wasn't any razor blades or any,
Yeah. No, it's so true. And it's
you know,
always like, was that like a urban legend or did it really happen? And then I saw an
right,
article on it somewhere and I'm like, oh,
right.
I guess it does happen.
And now, some kids learned they couldn't buy anything unless they had a coupon. Are you talking about the little green coupon that you put on that little card?
Oh, I remember that.
No, but now all they do is those trunk or treats. They don't even go to the houses anymore.
Really? I didn't know. Well,
I
I
mean,
not in my
here,
neighborhood, but I don't know. Like, and I could
here,
picture
like the
that.
firemen and the police, they put all candy in these pails or whatever, and the kid just line up and walk down the trunks. And
That sucks. Come on, no way. That
I'm
sucks.
serious. Yes,
No.
the S&H stamps. That's what they were called. My
Oh
grandma
yeah.
used my grandma used to do those things. She used to have this little booklet, and she'd put
Yes.
the little. Yes, she used to do that. But there was that dad that put rat poison in the candy sugar tubes.
There's always one dad like that, like the guy that tried to drug his daughter during her sleepover, her daughter's friends.
Woke up, said, "I'm still a coupon clipper.
That's awesome.
Always taught it's unlucky to open an umbrella inside out." There you go, Jeff.
Yes, Jeff. Yes, that's another
Yes,
one.
that's another one.
Or how about this? Don't walk underneath a ladder. Don't walk underneath a ladder. You are screwed.
Yes. How about breaking a mirror or breaking any kind of glass, like a
Bad
breaking
luck.
a mirror? You'd have
Yep.
what? 7 years of bad
7
luck?
years of bad luck. Yep. That's what I got mixed up with the bubble gum because, like you said, bubble gum never digests. Only I'm positive that gum is long gone.
Oh my goodness. Spill the salt, throw it over your shoulder. There you go.
Yep.
Where did these come from though? It's interesting that we have grown up with such sayings. I don't even know if they do these anymore.
I mean, I would imagine a lot of them are cultural, depending on like Italian, Irish, like old European. You know what I mean? And then when they came
Yeah.
here, it just and I think they get distorted too. I'm sure they get distorted, like the telephone game.
Hey, how about the black cat?
Oh
Don't
yeah.
ever let the black cat cross your. You know
What
how
happens
many
when you
years?
buy one?
You know how many years I hated black cats walking in front of me? Like, what the hell? Like, no. And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna challenge this. I'm gonna get me a black cat,
Yes, that's what
and I
I
made a
did.
black
See,
cat my pet. Like,
yep, we're right there. That's the way it is. I questioned everything, and I always learned the hard way because I had to learn it myself.
yes. Heather says she couldn't um she couldn't handle the walking under a ladder.
She couldn't handle it.
She said, I still have a fear of walking under a ladder.
Me
So what
too.
was
I'm
the
right there
ladder
with you,
thing?
Heather. I don't walk. If there's a ladder, I'll walk around it. My kids walk right underneath it, like if we're in the city or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, don't do that. And they're like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what was the thing under the ladder? Is it what the outcome if you walk under a
Something bad.
ladder?
Like, I don't know if you would die, but it was generally considered good luck or bad luck. It was just like a
Hey, you
bad luck
remember
thing.
those movies, Final Destination? They brought a lot of the superstition in their
Oh yeah.
movies.
Yep. Those movies are so scary. Yeah.
You know what I won't do? I won't get behind a semi with like logs or pipes or anything like that since that movie. Like it just flashes in my head, that movie does, like
Yep.
Final Destination.
No, I actually, this, all joking aside, I had a good friend of mine lost an uncle because they were driving next to one of those it was like
Yeah,
one of those big rigs that had a bunch of cars on it transporting cars, and the car
yeah.
fell off and onto the car and killed him.
We're PG-17 here, so I'm gonna show this one right here.
If you Yes, yes, Firefly, that one, and the guys would get hair on their palms.
So that's what happened to my eyesight over the years, right? That's why everybody wears glasses.
Right, right.
Oh my goodness. My
Holy
stepdad used to load trucks like that. Yeah, those things trip me out, man. Those things trip me out. I'm like, I'm not driving behind them.
No way. No.
I was
Why
just
why
behind
chance it?
a logging truck one day this week and wondered why they were even in the area. Don't hang a horseshoe with the points downward. Bad luck.
Yep. I remember that one too.
Oh my goodness, I'm loving it, guys. Hi, Latina. How you doing?
Oh,
A couple months ago, someone was killed here by a load on a logging truck. Yeah, that is a real thing. That is
yeah.
a real thing. I hold true to that. I won't do it. A broom above the door is good luck.
Mm-hmm. I heard that one too. That's an older one though, I think, like my grandma. My husband.
We're good. We're good. We're just talking about superstitions right now.
There's so many.
Yes, there is. Like, the Spanish culture, we have what's called the Llorona.
Uh-huh.
And and there's this other tale that this lady supposedly, she was on the railroad tracks and she got stuck in the truck and the train hit her. And, if you ever get stuck on the railroad track or something in this area of Texas somewhere, you can see little handprints on your car. I mean,
Uh,
supposedly. But the Llorona was a person she was a lady that killed her kids in the river.
uh-huh.
And so she cries all the time. So you used to, as a kid, you'd say, you hear that howling or you hear that, the coyotes or something, you say, well, that's the Llorona. So you'd instantly run inside because you're scared to death. Or
Yes.
they tell you, you go to sleep or the Llorona is going to get you. So you're fearing the
Yes.
boogeyman,
I can imagine it. Oh my gosh. Hey, I have one. You probably didn't do this one because you were a little boy and not a little girl. But if there's any women of a certain age in the chat, they'll remember this one. We did the weirdest shit. We did the weirdest stuff at sleepovers. We would have this one game where the girl would lay down and all the friends would put just 2 fingers underneath their body all around. And then we would say, light as a feather, stiff as a board. And we would lift them up in the air with just our 2 fingers all the way
You're
around.
shitting me. You're shitting me.
We
Did
were
that really
basically
work?
doing seances. I think anybody that grew up in my era, we were doing seances. We were saying Bloody Mary in the mirror 7 times. It was some really crazy stuff we did back then. Where are my girls
Did
at?
you
Anybody
really
remember that?
lift that person up?
Well, we thought that we did, but in reality, I think, it was all just it's like the Ouija board, you think you're moving
Yeah.
it all over, but it's really but it was stiff as a board, light as a feather. I forget the rest of it, but we
Yeah.
literally, we would try to have someone like get like their deceased loved one to go into the body. I mean, we were doing some wacky stuff. Where did this come from? I don't know.
Yeah, witchcraft. Basically
Yeah.
witchcraft.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So you little
Guys,
girls would sit there and put hexes on the boys. That's what y'all did.
oh yeah, well we had those too, but I mean that whole thing was just wild. I was thinking about that the other day because my kids never did it, right? But
Yeah.
somebody in my neighborhood picked up on it, and we all did it all the time. Every sleepover was a guarantee you'd be getting into that stuff.
God. Wow. So instead of sneaking out, y'all got together and like we're practicing witchcraft.
Seances, yeah. We're basically having seances, trying to talk to the dead. I mean, it's
Oh
just
my gosh. No wonder I had so many haunting issues.
right. That's a good one. No, but it's so true because when you start to think about some of this stuff as a kid that you did, you're like, oh, I forgot all about that era. Like that was some weird, really weird stuff. The
I've had
Ouija
wild
board.
experiences with a Ouija board. How about never handing an open blade to someone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rondi says, "Oh yeah, that was fun."
Oh yeah,
Witches.
absolutely.
Bloody Mary, F that. But yeah, we did that stuff. I don't even
Yeah,
know
the
what y'all
Bloody
talking about.
Mary.
Bloody Mary.
7 times in the mirror. She still
I
does.
still talk to the dead.
Well,
Yeah, I
my
remember
grandma
that
passed.
movie Candyman came out,
Oh
and
my God, Candyman. Oh my
and
God.
you'd be like, Candyman, Candyman. I'm not gonna do it one more time. Nope, can't do
That
it.
was such a scary movie. That scared the living daylights out of me when that came out.
You know, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one that came
Mhm.
out with Freddy Krueger, how they, burnt him up and everything.
Yep.
I went to go watch that with my little brother in the theater. Like, that's, I consider my parents good parents, but they weren't IDing or nothing. They just dropped us off, gave us money
Oh,
for the tickets, and
12
we
gauge.
went in there and watched the movie. I was like so freaking scared. Freddy Krueger had nothing, or Jason Voorhees had nothing on Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. You know what's so funny that you say that? When I was a kid, my parents, we used to go to the drive-in, and my parents, they probably did this as a joke, but they would be like, hide in the back, and they'd put me under the cover so they didn't have to pay for me. But I think it
Yeah.
was really so. We would go, and I remember we went and watched Don't Go Down in the Basement, and I was like 10 years old. Do you know how scared I was for like months after that traumatic experience?
Yes. Freddy Krueger was like, I didn't want to go to sleep after that. Like I remember the one where the girl is like in the bed and she finally falls asleep and the bed like engulfs her.
It swallows her up. Yes, I know exactly. I remember that scene. Yep, I do.
Wow. I'm like, oh my God, that was terrible. Yeah, the toothpicks holding their eyes up. Yeah, I mean that movie, the way they killed him, they burned him up. They burned him up. And
that's
that's
really
why he
funny.
has all the scars on his faces and stuff. There's a new one coming out. It's called Fred. Rob Zombie is producing it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, The Exorcist was scary too when I was a kid.
Yes. 100%. That and The Shining. The Shining scared the living daylights out of me. Some people don't think that movie's scary. I'm like, that scares the crap out of me, that movie.
Yes. Jeff comes up with another one. I'm thinking rabbit don't consider a rabbit's foot lucky. Yeah, probably not. But yeah, I mean, some of those movies, I see some of the memes on Facebook. It cracks me up because it said, "This was my life in the '80s" or something. Like I posted something the other day. Had two little boys with shotguns. One little boy has the shotgun there's a snake wrapped around the shotgun. And I've seen one where they had this little baby in diapers. He had a cigarette in his mouth and a beer can in his. Or I saw this other one where it said this was a birthday party back in the day. It had two older ladies with cigarettes in their mouth. They had ashtrays around the birthday cake and a keg in the corner or something like that. I'm like,
so true.
wow, that
days,
is
let me
so
tell you.
true.
Those were the days. Oh, they were so good.
Any of y'all in chat grew up like that? Like y'all had ashtrays around your birthday cake? You didn't even care. You're just like your mom or your aunt's in there blowing cigarette smoke in your face. You know, you don't care while you're blowing out the candles. Oh my God, how awful. We used to carry rabbit's foot keychains, wear a rabbit fur coat, and have a bunny as a pet. Wow.
I remember this is another one for the women in the chat. I remember when I would go roller skating. Roller skating was big in my town.
Yeah.
We would get these clips, right? That had these long feathers on them, kind of like a Stevie Nicks thing, and you put in your hair. And only later did I realize they were roach clips.
Yeah.
We used to wear the roach clips in our hair. And like I'm like 7th grade. I'm wearing like a roach clip in my hair, you know?
Did you wear those leg warmers?
Yep.
Parachute pants?
Parachute pants, absolutely.
No, parachute pants for reals?
Yeah, look, parachute pants were freaking cool. I'm sorry. I think they should bring them back.
Well, I mean, that was the Michael Jackson thing, you know. He wore the red jacket with the 50 zippers, you know. Like, wow. Roach clips. Grandma had a lamp with an ashtray built into it. Oh yeah.
That's priceless.
Oh yeah.
That's priceless.
Yes.
They used to let
right.
people smoke on planes. Remember, they had a smoking section in the back of the plane.
Oh my God, there used to be smoking in the movie theaters. I don't remember. I mean, I remember the haze, but it was so normal then.
Yeah,
I don't.
it was a smoking section.
Like,
yeah.
And even in the restaurants, you'd have like a big old cloud.
Yep. As if you. But my favorite, honestly, is airplanes. Like, come on, like you're in like this like vacuum sealed container flying in the air, like however 1,000 feet up in the air, and you've got like
Y'all
people
really
in the
wore
back.
roach clips?
Yep, the roach clips.
Roach clips look so cool in our hair. Leg warmers, my favorite.
You go. Woke up 1984. I love it. Yes.
I often had a roach clip in my hair.
They had feathers, like the one you guys know what I'm talking about. The feathers.
Are you talking about the roach clip with the feathers on it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They're coming back.
Oh yes, I love it.
Love parachute pants too. Gotta take the whole lamp to the trash to dump it.
Dump it.
God almighty. My first flight was smoking, and I smoked at my desk in the office. Wow.
Oh, I have one when I was a kid. This is straight out of that 70s show. It really happened. I remember I went to the doctor's office. I had a sore throat. It was like the one time my mother took me. I had strep throat. She never took me. We go into his office and he's sitting there, shit you not, he's smoking a cigarette. He's smoking a cigarette, the doctor. And my mother says to him, Dr. Giuliani, I don't think that's very healthy. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I play tennis 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That was my doctor smoking a cigarette in his office when I was 6.
Yeah, he's sitting there coughing, and you got a sinus infection. You'll be all right. Take a
I
puff of
mean,
this.
it's wild. It's wild.
Had to have a lot of them. Too many different colors to coordinate with everything.
Yes.
Grief.
Oh,
Most
those
common things
feathers.
we'd make in art class with ashtrays made from clay. Yes, ashtrays and what do you call it? The wooden cutting boards.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
I found some feather roach clips and leg warmers for a few years ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's funny how people think the 80s are and what they really were. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There were a lot more colorful things than people really give us credit for back in the 80s.
There was a lot of great. There's a lot. I think 80s was a great time. You know, a really good. I don't know. It was fun. I mean, the hair was kind of crazy, like the hair bands, like the men with the hair. You know.
Hey, we had drag queens back then. We just didn't
That's
know
right.
it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when I look at it now, I'm like, that's what it was. We just didn't call it that, and nobody cared.
I have leg warmers in every color.
Oh my gosh, Heather, I love it.
The 80s were the best.
Hell yeah, they were.
They're my favorite too, especially the green color ashtray lamp.
Oh, and the lava lamps too. They had those lava lamps.
Hey, you remember those couches that always looked like they were so freaking heavy you hit your toe or anything on them? They all had like they looked like a couch you'd have in a hunting cabin. They had the like wood trees and all kinds of engravings in them. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Those
no.
big old, they look like Fred Flintstone furniture. I mean, the wood was so heavy, like, and the cushions were like, I don't know. I'll have to send you a picture in the email.
Yeah, I
But
want to see.
y'all know what I'm talking about, right, chat? The big old heavy couches. So y'all are the reason we have a hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah, 100%.
Aquanet.
Oh, you would scrape someone's face off if they got too close with that Aquanet. I used to wear that too. You had big hair and banana clips. I saw that one, Heather. Banana clips. I remember those. I had so many of those banana clips, man.
Plastic furniture covers. Oh my gosh, you'd stick to that damn thing in the summertime.
Yes. At Grandma and Grandpa's house, they always had that plastic on, especially if they were Italian. And I'm Italian, so you don't get mad at me.
If you did your hair right, you didn't need a helmet. Thing just bounced right off.
Yes, yes, yes.
You remember? I guess that's where the saying "helmet head" came from. Your head would look like a helmet. Jelly shoes. What were those?
Oh, yeah, those were cool. Yep.
Hated those.
I didn't wear. I had a couple pair. They were cool though. You still have banana clips. PKC's got like I gotta go to PKC's and like raid the closet. She's got all the stuff from the 80s over there.
I love jelly shoes.
Some girls had them in every color. Every color.
Jellies and Chinese shoes.
Oh, the Chinese shoes. Yes. The Chinese shoes. Oh my God. That just
Did you ever have capas?
What?
You know what capas are? The ones with they're double laced. Like they had 3 holes at the bottom and then 3 holes at the top, and they were double laced. They were white. They had a K on the side. I'll have to send you a picture of that too. Do y'all know what capas were? I remember back in the day, the cigarette lighter in the car was actually used to light a cigarette, not to charge your iPhone.
Yes. Yes. How about
Hey,
this?
Jeff, I
You ever-
burned my finger on one of those things. I like got it so hot, and then I went to see how close I could get. And my little brother pushed my thumb, and I burned the tip of my finger on it.
How did we survive? Honestly, how did we? I
Hey, did you ever? You didn't. Obviously, where'd you go? You froze again. There
sorry.
you are.
I got it.
We didn't die in the back seat? How did we survive the heat in the
I don't know
back
if you
seat?
can.
Jelly shoes made my feet sweat. Pop out lighter in the car. Are you
Yeah.
back?
Yeah. I got a phone call, so that it like
Oh,
yeah, the
that
pop-up
lighter.
later. Oh, what about the cigarette machines?
Yeah. I actually have a lighter in my pickup. That's the first thing that I throw out in a new vehicle. I grab the lighter and I throw it out the window. There'll be no smoking in here. Anyone have Pop Wheel shoes? What is that?
Oh, those are the ones that had the little wheels on the bottom, and you could skate. You could skate basically at any point.
Wow.
You could just skate on out of there. People used to go around the mall and get in trouble with those.
No seat belts.
Yep.
I
No car
remember
seats.
seeing a meme too. It said the safety we had in one time. It showed these two ladies on a ski lift. They didn't have no seatbelts on or nothing. They're just hugging like the pole. That is so true. I mean,
Yeah.
and another one said, because I'm a member of the Generation X page or whatever, and it said, our parents used to drop us off with $5 at the skating rink and not come back for 3 or 4 hours to pick us up.
Yep. I did. Yep. Absolutely.
We didn't get stolen. We didn't go off, and it was a different time.
It was. It's actually sad in a way. Like I really had a great childhood in that way. We had gangs in my neighborhood, and I was part of the boy gang with their BMX bikes. I didn't have a BMX though, but they let me be in the gang anyway.
This is a good one too. Our playgrounds were insane.
Yes.
That is so true. Anybody ever break their arm on the monkey bars doing flips or anything like that? Did you ever almost bite your tongue off, falling off the monkey bars
I
or
did.
the
I bit
slide?
my tongue, and I
You know
tried to.
those metal slides in the summer,
They
or
were
like
so
when
hot.
it got hot,
Yep.
you like scald yourself on the way down, and you wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care, right?
There'd
You
be
wouldn't
beads of the skin. There'd be beads of the skin attached to the slide. Oh my gosh. We used to have this merry-go-round where kids would get in the middle and spin it, and everybody would be like hanging on for dear life. They'd literally be, their legs would be out on the side. It'd be going so fast.
Yes. Yes.
You let go and you'd fly off, and
It was so much fun though.
don't come back till the sun comes down.
Yep. That was yep. Absolutely. I was out all day.
No cell phones.
No,
No, not
yeah.
a cell phone in sight.
I was a rotary. Remember the rotary phones? I mean, there was I was, and my grandmother. I did live with her for a little while. She tried to discipline me, and she wouldn't let me use the phone. She had a tiny little padlock on the rotary phone, and I had to pay her a quarter if I wanted to use the phone.
We used to ride loose in the back of a pickup truck. That's true.
Yes. Yep. That was so much fun.
Yes, my parents did too, Heather. They'd say, don't you come back in. You'd have to drink out of that hot ass hose.
Yep.
You'd have to wait till the cold water happened, and it took forever. Post must be my relative. Oh my God. Everything was metal. You're right.
Yeah. Those playgrounds were something else. They were so
The
much fun.
silver slides, yeah. And they didn't care. They'd say, Go here, put a Band-Aid over it.
Yep.
I spoke in a live and I said the nurse used to give me some crackers, put an ice pack on my head, and just send me back to class.
Yep.
I remember having to wait till Saturday came so I could watch my favorite TV show as a kid, Land of the
Oh,
Lost.
mine
Oh
was
my God.
Fantasy Island and Love Boat.
Metal slides, but short shorts equals
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Did y'all ever play bumper cars, like line up alongside the slide and then someone slid down and tried to bump the last one off the slide?
Yep. That was fun.
Yeah, but we kept going down it.
Oh, we sure did.
No fear. I broke my wrist skating.
I loved roller skating.
Oh. Trying to go all the way around on a swing.
Yeah.
Good grief. Yeah, flying out the swing at the tallest spot. How did we live? How did we like survive all that?
Without a fear, too. Without even a fear. When the street lights come home. Yeah. And kickball. Did you guys play kickball in your neighborhoods? We used to play kickball.
Dodgeball.
Yeah.
What were clackers? Those two little balls that you just sit. Oh, I'm not even going there, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Hose water was awesome.
You thirsty enough?
It had a different taste, didn't it? The dry spit in your mouth plus hot ass water just made a good concoction. Don't try to stand up and pee out of the back of a pickup going down the end. Oh my God, you're right about that. Hose water, yes. I don't know if we can drink the hose water now. I love Land of the Lost. My sisters and I laugh at the crazy shit our parents would do, shit that absolutely would never fly nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's a freaking crime now.
Yeah.
We used to divide into groups in this little town I lived in, and we'd fill up water balloons with shaving cream and all kinds of stuff. We'd divide into groups and go attack each other all over town. We'd water balloon the sheriff's vehicle. Yeah, that was vicious. Memories are awesome. I'm grateful I grew up when I did. You're right.
Yeah.
I can't imagine growing up in this day and age. It'd be so boring. Wall ball, yes.
Ah.
We played kickball all the time.
Yes, there you go. I loved it. I loved kickball.
Red Rover, Red Rover. What was the rest of it? Red Rover, let Post come over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rode bikes without helmets or knee pads or anything else. My friend's little sis fell while riding her bike, and we all had to go to the ER with her. They diagnosed her rattled brains. 2+ decades later, I still don't know if that was a
Rattled brain.
Official diagnosis, rattled brain.
That's definitely not official now. I don't know, back then maybe.
We were not sissies for sure.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like our generation, like I think we're the best generation in terms of like, because we're not that old, but we're like badasses. I'm sorry, but our generation is badasses. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, we used to build ramps and jump stuff, like it wasn't a day until somebody either broke something or broke the skin and bleeding everywhere or, bit their tongue or something. Swear I had it with my own ears.
I never got taken to the hospital or anywhere else. I mean, I'd have to be dead if I was going to go to the doctor. That was strep throat I had when the doctor was smoking, but that was it,
Bam-dass and fun. Did y'all ever have BB gun fights? Rattled brain.
That's crazy, Heather.
Hey, that'll be our new mantra in this in this stream. You got rattled brain or what? I was really good with the clockers, but my cousin playing with them sent me flying into the car windshield. My dad took the clockers away. Oh my God.
What
Those
did
things were a deadly weapon. It was like two little balls held together by like a piece of leather thing, and you had to clock them together.
uh-huh.
You literally could do this and be.
Oh my God. You give someone a rattled brain.
Yes. When my parents went to town, my brothers and sister would drag the mattresses out of the house to use the landing pad out of the.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
As a kid, I rode my bike all the time and never wore a helmet.
Love this.
The top flying, they started putting on bike just before the helmets. Oh my God.
And I'm positive I had lead paint in my bedroom and on my crib. I'm positive.
Twiz, I got rattled brain for sure. And seatbelts in cars only went over the line.
Yes, yes. They didn't have car seats for kids either, for babies. You just held your baby.
The baby was in the front seat as well, doing jumping jacks.
Yes.
I thought the clockers were outlawed. You used to see them on Powerline. Did you ever have a switchblade knife post?
I definitely did.
Oh my God.
I
Wait
had
till
that
your
in a
daddy gets
slingshot.
home. Wait till your daddy gets home.
Yup.
Every kid's worst thing to hear. Please, I'll throw the trash. I'll do anything. Please.
Hitchhiking too. That was big.
My uncle would hitchhike back in the 70s. Yeah, they outlawed clackers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't hitchhike nowadays. Them truckers are murderers, serial killers.
Yeah, serial killers. Yep. I was going to do a video on that and I never finished it. That's scary stuff. Those serial, like 450 of them, right?
Yes. Is that the guy with the glasses? Because I was watching that one. He's like,
and he had a get up on, in a gimp suit or something.
Yeah.
I swear. Bring out the gimp. You're like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here.
And lower the basket into the hole.
Yeah. I can't. I swear I haven't laughed this hard in a while. This is
Hello, Clarice.
He was putting on his makeup and dancing. Oh my goodness gracious. That was one of the scariest. Those hitchhikers scare me too, though. You're 100% right with that.
That is the creepiest. Load the basket into the. Good grief. You know, guys, laughter is good for phlegm buildup. You know?
Yeah.
Y'all know what we're talking about. Silence of the Lambs, right?
Oh.
Where that guy's lowering that little basket. My
She was
dad had
so
a
mad too. She was giving him.
yeah.
She was awesome.
My dad had an 8-track player in his van with shag carpet on
Oh,
the
that's awesome.
dashboard. Jeff, don't forget your buddies in the trunk. So how'd you get out of the trunk, Post? Did you knock or what? I mean, how did they know to not forget you? Like
Wait, what are we talking about now?
when you went to the drive-in?
Oh, okay. So, all right. So let me, if I said trunk, I misspoke. They would
Oh,
put me in the back seat, not the trunk. Jesus.
you meant
My
trunk.
parents were nuts, but they weren't that nuts.
We haven't been drinking, I swear.
I know I don't drink, so it's
You
not
saw
me.
her parents put her in the trunk, y'all.
I'm so glad we clarified that. Or people would have legit thought, like, okay.
I got the poo on me.
We gotta save $3, kid. Get in the trunk.
We put my mom's wig on our dog and it ran down the street. My dad saw her running after her. Thing got ugly. Oh my gosh, this is where all the cool kids hang out. I don't know where everybody else is, but man, we're having a blast. Pop guns, yes.
Oh,
Those things were loud.
that's so funny. Yeah, they
Last
were loud.
last drive-in I went to was Heavy Metal and Pink Floyd The Wall.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, they used to show those Pink Floyd experience like in the planetariums.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all ever see those in that? Man, that was a trip. That was a trip. If you've never seen that, you need to go see that. Like they do the Pink Floyd experience in the planetariums. Good grief. I haven't laughed this hard in a long
I
time.
know, me neither. I have tears like pouring out of my
Me
eyes.
too. And I can visualize that creepy dude with the basket.
I know.
Whoa.
And she was so nasty to him. It was so funny though. I loved how spunky she was.
Yes. Yeah, it's great experience at the planetarium. Yeah, it is. I mean, because you just hear the music and you see all the stars. It's like,
That's so
I
cool.
don't know, the simple things in life, you know. Sometimes I want to go to that Spear in Las Vegas. I want to check out that place, see if it's worth the hype.
What is it?
That spear that they have, that round spear, that $1 billion spear that changes, like it's all on the outside, it changes like into a smiley face or the Death Star, or
Oh, great.
on the inside, it's a concert hall.
Oh,
It has like
wow.
all these speakers around it and stuff. And it's supposed to be awesome.
It has Baphomet on the outside and stuff.
Yeah. It has a little emoji winking at you, and it has the Death Star and all
That's
kinds
not
of
terrifying
stuff.
at all.
My goodness. Pat, y'all have any more? I mean, y'all kind of winding down. Are y'all like, did we wear you out?
Yeah.
I mean, laughing hard does wear you out after a while.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah, I am
That-
actually getting tired too. I didn't realize I was on here this long. I mean, I had a great time though, hanging out with your chat and you. I mean, this is
it's
fun.
cool. One more. How about calling into the radio stations to try and be the 10th caller on a rotary
Oh my
dial?
gosh, Jeff, you just brought up a memory for me. I used to prank call everybody when I was a kid. I would call up the restaurant, the Italian place. This is Jennifer. I want a stromboli, please, and a shortcake. No, I always wanted to order a what did I want? A sheet cake. I was fast. I want a sheet to cake, and I used to get in so much trouble with that. Oh my god, prank calls.
You know, in the rotary phone, when you try to be cool, like you dial it, you'd put your finger in it, hold it until it went around. You didn't want your parent to hear it rotary.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you'd go back
Oh my God. I
and you
remember.
control it, the noise, you know, and
Yes.
by the
No,
time you finished the number, you were just like,
that is
okay.
so real. That is so real right now, what you just said. Oh my God.
Somewhere in my house, I have an old rotary phone in a closet. My kids found it once. They were like, how the hell do you use it?
Oh my God. Oh
So, imagine trying to text on a rotary phone. You're just like having to dial it more than once for the letters.
oh my God.
An extra long cord so you could talk in the secret from the closet.
Yes.
Yeah, you just follow the closet. I mean, you just follow the cord. You'd find a kid on the other end just giggling like we're giggling nonstop about random stuff.
So fun.
Do you ever play spin the bottle?
Yes, that was so much fun. It's scared. I'm so scared though.
Yeah,
It.
I'm still certain they wouldn't know how to use it.
They definitely would.
Wow. I saw that on I think it was TikTok or something. This dad pulled out a rotary phone and the kids were just staring at it. He said, I'm still certain they wouldn't know how to use it. 7 minutes in the closet,
Yeah.
7 minutes, 7 minutes in heaven.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's terrible. We were playing in my grandma's room. My little brother jumped out the window and the rest of the family were sitting at the table.
Oh, he landed in the bush.
Oh my God.
Ron, you had some fun over your place, man.
Can you imagine? You're about to say grace, and all of a sudden, like in a movie, what the hell was that? It must have been the black cat running under the ladder. It's everything cool.
Did you walk under a ladder recently? What is going on?
My little brother did the same thing from the second story, landed on the wood pile. Oh my
Oh,
God.
brother.
Jesus.
Oh,
I've done that from a barn. Like I've jumped out of the barn and landed on some hay, but yeah. My cousin used to do goodness. We were some daredevils, weren't we?
yeah,
We did our
were.
own stunt. Hey, we did our own stunts back in the
They were real.
But look who we watched. We watched like Evil Knievel, and we watched all these people that like had no fear. You just put on a motorcycle helmet, you were safe from everything. You weren't gonna instantaneously combust or nothing. You're gonna be all right. I think I remember when my grandma upgraded her black and white TV for a color. Hey, did you have that that console that was so heavy? It was part TV and part record player. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, Heather.
What?
She used to tie sheets together to climb out of her window.
Oh my
I tried that
God.
once. I could never get the sheet tight enough. It's just like,
How did Rapunzel do this shit? Like, what is going on right now?
gosh. Grandpa said, "Now, Linda, my mom." Oh my gosh. So you know what I'm talking about, Heather. It was part TV, and then like on the other side it was record player. So it was like an entertainment thing that like weighed 500 pounds. Your grandma be throwing out her bag trying to move the furniture. I did jump out the second floor and landed on the rose bushes. My bike dude friend came up and picked me up. Oh my gosh. We used to run through cactuses trying to jump cactus.
Oh.
My sister literally scaled the house, climbing out the window with sheets. The visual is too much. Too much.
She gets those like spike shoes for tree climbing on. You're like, where are you going? I'm sneaking out.
Yeah, it's not fun to find a cactus. You know,
Wow.
I'm gonna share an addiction story here, and this is funny now that I can laugh about it. I got drunk one night, and I don't know what happened. I don't know. I guess I blacked out, but I ended up face first in an ant bed, and
Oh my gosh.
I'm laying there face down like this. Ants are all biting me and crap. I didn't feel a damn thing. Like
Oh,
another time I went in, we used to have this big old freezer, and we used to, you get drunk, you get hungry, so you're gonna cook in the kitchen, right?
yeah.
So we had this big old freezer, and I'm reaching in for something, and I'll fall in. My friends are cooking. They got their back to me. They don't know where I went.
Oh my
So I'm in the freezer,
God.
about passed out.
Oh God.
We used to jump off the peak of the roof onto the trampoline and flip. Yep.
Oh.
I mean, it's a miracle. There were those red ants, thank God. It wasn't fire ants. It was those red ones, but they were still stinging the hell out of me.
Oh.
My brother and I used to rope to pull up beer, and we got caught.
Rhonda, your parents, man. You must have your parents.
Anyone ever fall on their bike and get the wind knocked out of? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's that like solar plexus or whatever, that spot.
Yes. Yes. You feel like this is the end. I'm
Yeah, like
gone.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
This is what everybody was telling me about. You're going on it. Yes. You're going on the 10 speed as fast as you can, rounding the corner. You hit those double brakes.
Oh my
The
God.
bike comes and lands on you. You can't breathe. You're, oh my God. She had a table set that chairs and wheels on them.
Wow.
Furniture just didn't make sense back then. It was so freaking heavy, and it killed you like if you hit it.
Yeah.
We had big fights on Halloween big time. Yeah. Yeah, those ants hurt. Like I woke up the next day with all these ant bites on my face. I hated Mistress Night. So what happened to you? I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Uh-huh.
Having the wind knocked out of you. What's the craziest? Yeah, because you literally could not talk. You couldn't scream.
Yeah, you pretty much, like you said, this is what they were telling me about.
Oh shit, I just killed myself, and they were right. We could fly from one side of the basement to the other. That's how I knocked the wind out of myself the first time.
The first time.
Yeah, the fact you do it more than once, you're like, oh my God.
Here's one. When I was like 9, I had a friend that was a couple of years older than me. I always looked up to her, hung out with her, and I told her I was really tough, and we got into some kind of verbal thing, and I said, "Go ahead, punch me as hard as you can." And she punched me after me begging for like a half hour. She punched me in my solar plexus. I fell down.
Not there, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. I'll never forget that, man. I just thought I was so tough, and I'm daring her to punch me. And man, she wailed me right there. I was done.
You're crying and everything, and you can't even breathe. You're
No,
just
you
like,
can't. You can't say anything. You're done.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like, And I couldn't even get her in trouble because I begged her to do it like an idiot.
I'll show you. You can't take me down.
That's pretty much what I was saying. And one punch right there. I was done.
And now so many helicopter parents. You're right. Come on, give me your best shot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Used to fist fight with our best friends because they dropped over the line. Oh my gosh. There was always one clown, one cool one, and then the feminine one. My stomach hurts. I dare you to run out into the yard. Barefoot.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, I don't remember ever telling anybody that story. That's hilarious. That was just when he said solar plexus, I got this
The
flashback.
visual though, I mean, looking at you right now, I'm probably envisioning when you were younger, you'd be like, come on. You can't be.
That's exactly.
There's nothing that can hurt me. I haven't combusted in fire in ever. I'm good.
Oh my God.
Feather pudding pie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Lord. Yeah, we grew up in a generation of excess. I mean, if you ever saw The Dirt, Motley Crue, The Dirt, the movie, or read the book, Ozzy Osbourne was snorting ants.
Yeah. Biting heads of bats on stage.
Yeah. I thought that was the coolest. I couldn't wait to do it.
Oh yeah, Motley Crue. I saw them, and remember Tommy Lee's drums went vertical. He's playing them, and the whole stage of the drums go vertical while he's playing. Like what?
I mean, it was a generation of excess. The faster you went, the more you wanted to be a part of it. I mean, did you ever have the blue jean jacket with the patch on the back?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I had a big old Guns N' Roses and a Motley Crue.
Oh, that's awesome.
The big old, you know, the Guns N' Roses, the cross.
Yep, I remember that.
Cross with the little faces, and I had the Motley Crue one too.
That's so cool.
Heather said it's no wonder why parents now are helicopter parents and kids don't know shit.
We're like, we know what you can get up to. Okay, so you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I saw that in concert. Oh my God. They walk up to you, wipe your nose. My mom lost her shit on my sister. She was going to call Dad, and Tony told her not to call, and we would just spank ourselves. Turn around. I'll get you when you get me.
You were so scared. You were like, please don't. We'll spank ourselves. Please. I'll do anything. Don't call Dad.
I'll do anything. Please don't call Dad. Please don't call Dad.
Hey, what about this? When I was in elementary school, my principal had a paddle. He used to paddle people. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you know they wouldn't get away with that right now.
Oh no, I used to have a principal that had they had holes in the paddles.
Ooh.
Man, that thing you could hear it coming through the air. lift
Get
lift
your
you
ass
up.
whooped. Get your ass whooped in elementary school
Yes,
back in the day.
man, they'd lift you up off the ground like no other. You'd be like, yeah, you want to cry? I'll give you something to cry for. And then all of a sudden they tell you, quit crying. You just beat my ass. It hurt. Now go outside and play.
My grandma had a fly swatter she used to come after me with. She used to come with the fly swatter, try to smack me with it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Heather, yes. In my house, when one kid did something, we all got beat for it. It was the parents' way of building 24/7 babysitter. Yes, that concept needs to come back. One
I
fall, we
agree.
all fall.
I'm the same way with my girls. If they get into a fight, oh, they give you both sides. I'm like, I don't know what happened, so you're both punished. And next time, don't do this.
Yes, yes. Elk, I got licked my last day of senior year. Oh my God. How's that possible? What did you do? Hey, Nina.
Hello?
My mom used spatulas,
Oh my
shoes,
gosh.
anything. You know what the
Spatula.
worst part? Go out there and get me a branch.
Stick. Yes.
You'd have to pick your own punishment, man.
Yep.
It'd be like, I'm going to get the thinnest, smallest.
Until you learn better.
That one hurt worse than any others. Before you'd ignore your sibling doing something wrong, someone was going to step in
That's right.
because they didn't want to get whooped.
That's right. That's right.
Here comes that little kid now. Let's think about this a minute. The baby comes in with a diaper. Now, hold on.
Give me that cookie back. We're all waiting till dinner.
I went to Catholic school. Please, I broke sister's ruler and dad got a call.
Oh my God.
So did I. Wow, that explains a lot. Librarian kicked me out and I was roaming the halls and one principal caught me. How'd you get kicked out of the library?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, senior year, speaking of that, Texas, we had a balloon launcher. And we were launching balloons, water balloons, from the back of this guy's truck.
Oh my God.
Well, there was an assembly going on in the gym, right? I don't know what the bright idea was. We all said, hey, there's a good spot to try it. We shot it. That thing made a perfect hole in the glass. I mean, it just went boom, perfect hole. Never even broke the rest of the glass. We took off. We're like, okay.
God.
When my husband was young and his brother asked to go on a hike, visiting grandma was worried about rattlers. His mom said, those snakes are going to have to take care of themselves. Goodness, Paula. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not a stereotype. You used to see kids bring in dead birds, dead possums, whatever it was you found in the yard. Look what I found.
Yeah. And now they say you're going to be a serial killer if you do that. So,
Right. Well, I guess we're all somewhere in our minds serial killers.
oh, so
I
fun.
had a friend that used to torture cats, though. He used to stick a firecracker up their butt and light it, and
Yeah, that's like
yeah,
probably, yeah, that's crazy.
get in the basket.
Yeah. I remember having, it was always boys. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it was never a girl. Boys used to do some crazy stuff back then. Girls did too, but not with the firecrackers.
We're a pretty fearless bunch from all that I think.
Yes, we are.
Is that friend in jail?
Heather.
there used to be a lot of strays. I tried to bring them all home.
Oh.
Aw. Put that dog down. He's foaming at the mouth. It's okay. I'll wipe it off.
Yeah, everything had rabies. Every
Yes. Teacher took some of us boys' desk away for a week in 3rd grade. Oh my
Wow.
God. Took away your bomb shelter.
Yeah, exactly. What happens if there's a bomb?
Right. That's terrible. Those desks were awful too. He's got the mange.
Yeah.
You're stroking the dog and
It's just foaming.
patches of hair falling out with each stroke. Oh my gosh.
Can I keep them? Can I keep them, please?
Yes, basically. Oh my God. Did any of y'all grow up to be veterinarians or anything like that? I mean, animal advocates? I don't know. I mean, because some kids they show early signs of what they're gonna be when they grow up,
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, basically. Remember them wooden rulers? They had the metal piece on one side. They make good drill bits.
Oh, cool. I remember.
I remember always taking those metal pieces off the ruler and sitting there flicking people with the ruler. I own a pit bull potamus. He's a big boy. Mom hated me. You guys got me too distracted. The oven has been on for 2 hours.
Oh, God. I hope it's not a gas oven that you didn't like the pilot for.
Look at the fire in the background, Rondi. Look at the fire that's burning. Oh shit, the oven's on. My pizza.
That's not fire. That's not fire that you're standing in.
Yeah, it's not
Casey.
fire. It's just a little warm. It's so hard to be a veterinarian.
So true too, right?
I have one of those rulers now. I think you guys started laughing on a Friday and still laughing on to Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm starting to feel like dizzy, I think, because I've been laughing for so
They go
long.
boing real loud too. Oh my God, look at this one. I did want to be a vet, but saw them put a thermometer on my dog's butt and decided no.
Oh yeah, that'll.
WSU is like the #2 veterinarian school in the country. Obviously, they suck at criminology. You couldn't do it right. Makes me think of those no quarter, November.
Did you see that?
Doug Wilson line.
12 gauge. Did you see one of those? No quarter November.
No.
You should check that out. It's called No Quarters November. Doug Wilson from Christ Church.
Yeah.
It'll give you a real good indication of the culture of that church in Moscow.
Okay, I'll check that out.
It's definitely worth checking it out.
I was just playing Twiz. I know it's good, and I mean it's a good school, I've heard. But what about WSU moms? Oh my goodness. My daughter was going to be a vet until she found out how much college costs. Yeah, you ain't lying there. Totally insane videos.
Yeah, the No Quarter November video. If other people haven't seen it too, you probably next time you do a stream, you might want to. It's insane. Like you'll just see because they're very they're ultra conservative with their values. Like I'm talking way back. Like women are in a certain place and men are above them and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
You have to wonder some of us ain't under the jail. I will check it out. I've got to remember that. Do you need to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go just because I'm actually tired. I didn't realize.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Chad.
You're welcome anytime.
I
Anytime.
appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, as you can probably tell. So.
I will try to find those images and email those to you. And if you remember what you were talking about, email me, okay?
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh, man, it is messed up. I bet he lifts fire to 300K worth of stuff. We were hella on wheels. Yes, we were. You can't live stream that kind of stuff. You can't? Okay. Thank you all. This has been the best. Yeah, it started kind of rough, but like you said, you got to heal it. Anytime there's any kind of pain going on, you got to heal it. Laughter is the best medicine. Maybe not on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Especially on my channel. Great chat. Thanks, Post. Yeah, y'all go check her out. Her channel's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But it's been 3 hours and 30 minutes, guys and gals. I'm going to call it a night myself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for an awesome evening. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. It was different in so many ways. If you replay this, please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I think Swamp Rose and myself are going to do a show tomorrow. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. My throat's sore from laughing so much. Anyways, we're going to do a live stream, I think, tomorrow at 2:30 or 3, somewhere around there. So be looking for that. And I have my own live going tomorrow night. I'm going to talk about Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to talk about missing kids and stuff like that. So if you are in the area, please stop by and visit and hang out with us. So yeah, you'll have to do a replay. It's pretty good. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to have each and every one of you, especially you mods. Y'all have a wonderful night. And Maestro, cue the music.